they get from that is they're basically 30% of their entire net profit to the bank for fees. And this is like this is what actually originally got me into crypto back in the early days from reading like the Ethereum white paper was like this kind of like promise of micropayments where like you can send these micro amounts and you can, for very cheap and it's peer-to-peer, there's no like middleman. And that's like a really appealing prospect. And so with Explorer 2, we can kind of do that now. And it doesn't really care about what chain you're on. It's not a new smart contract. It's basically just sending like stablecoins or tokens over HTTP. And so I think as we scale, Explorer 2 isn't going to be confined to just Base or Coinbase, Base or Solana or Starknet. Like we're going to need the entire bandwidth of like L2s, Solana, probably like that Arc and Tempo. They're going to get on board soon. And like, if you take that aggregate of like those amount of like TPS, like we could literally service the entire world's economy with Explorer 2. And in any market, whenever there's a cheaper option that's faster and better, like it'll get used. And that's exactly what Explorer 2 stands right now. It's got like
I gotta ask, I gotta get in here because you're talking about really incredible stuff here. And actually, we had PAI on like 3 weeks ago before they had their massive run to like 80 million, and we talked about this. And I was kind of mind blown then. I was like, oh my gosh, this could fundamentally change commerce on the internet. And I want to get your take on this. So there is a lot of unused, let's say, block space out there, and kind of what you're saying here is that we could fill the world with commerce by using this technology with the existing kind of like Slack that's in the crypto payment area. Is that like, did I get that right, or can you?
Yeah, I mean, we can use the Slack, but it won't really become like I think Visa and Mastercard do about 15,000 TPS at the moment globally. So that's totally doable with the current L2s and Solanas to hit that. I mean, we're maxing out stuff, but like it's possible. And so I mean, we can and it's going to happen rapidly over the next 5 years. Like a new payment systems when they can come out and they're cheaper, like everyone's going to adopt them, and someone's going to come out with a hardware product or like a kind of a merchant seller product that like easily kind of just like slots into merchants and they don't have to do anything. They're like, oh great, I'm not spending 3% now, I'm spending 0.01%, and like every merchant will do it because like why not?
So walk me through a payment. Let's do an example payment so people understand exactly how this works.
Sure.
So walk me through end-to-end payment and then how it interacts with the blockchain and stablecoins.
Yeah. So you have say I'm a merchant, so I'm selling something, and you're a buyer. Me as a seller, I on my server, so I basically include a few lines of code. This is how simple it is to do actually. I include a few lines of code and I basically create this like paywall in front of my like service or product. And it's like you can hit the service for 10 cents. And then you as a buyer, you can like call my web server and you can see, okay, that service, that lowest offering is 10 cents. Am I willing to pay that? If you're willing to pay that, then you can sign a message with MetaMask or any crypto wallet, and you can send that 10 cents to me, and then I unlock that content, and then I send the content to you. And then that kind of that payment request gets settled by a thing called a facilitator. And so it's honestly as simple as that. It's just a buyer and a seller and a facilitator, and you can sell whatever you want. Yeah.
Cool. I'm looking at this website here. It's a little bit daunting. There's a lot going on. Can you maybe just walk me through kind of what I'm looking at and maybe your offerings here? Daydreams, Dream Router, Lucid, Xgate, just like what is this?
Yeah. So we're building a lot of things. And so our thesis is like agentic commerce is going to be bigger than basically anybody thinks right now. And sorry, just to clarify, like everything I just talked about, like regular like merchants, that's like the existing part of the economy. And then we're talking about like if we're talking about agentic commerce, that's like this whole like a new emergent kind of economy that's about to happen, where like it's like all these like net new kind of transactions, because it's basically agent to agent stuff. And our thesis is like, so I don't know if you guys know, but like the weekly active users of crypto is about 40 to 50 million, which isn't that much to think about. The weekly active users of ChatGPT and Claude is about 900 million right now, which is insane. Wow. And that's going to be like multiple billion in a couple of years probably at the rate it's going. Like half the world will be on using chat apps and using natural language interfaces in a couple of years. Like that's like the crazy scope that we're dealing with. And so our thesis is like, well, how do we help entrepreneurs and builders and consumers like build these resources, which are export to endpoints or agents, and then how do we help people consume these resources through ChatGPT or Claude? And so all of our product offering is like, we've got the Daydreams agent framework, which is a kind of a generative agent framework for building kind of complex agents. Then we've got Lucid, which is a consumer product that allows kind of a consumer builder product that allows you to kind of orchestrate and manage your agents. so you can see their profit and loss when as they're selling their resources. And then we've got the router, which is an inference provider via X402. So you can buy LLMs, images, videos, and any other kind of digital inference service. And then we've got Xgate, which is our like agentic search engine, which allows you to search for resources like any of these X402 resources quickly and efficiently. And so it all wraps up into this product suite, helping builders and consumers to kind of build the resources and consume the resources.
Can I get your take here on, I mean, you shared a bit of your thesis there, but just the direction we're headed in general for AI, and then how these agents are going to be interacting with each other and paying each other. What's your broader, more maybe dystopian view on where we're headed?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even say it's dystopian. I'd say you can see it right now. I'd say it's actually just, there's flickers of it right now. And as I said, like, there's 900 million people that use ChatGPT. Like humans' behavior has entirely changed in the last 2 years. Most people that use the internet behavior, like not everyone, but like most people, like entire behavior has changed because we don't click around interfaces anymore. We just talk to chat interfaces, and that's like there's a whole new paradigm. And so like you kind of extrapolate where that's going, and like that's pretty clear where that's going. Like I don't think anyone can deny that. And then you think, well, how are these little agents like your ChatGPT or your Claude going to kind of consume like web services? So like how they're going to consume your Gmail or your Google Docs or whatever. And right now they kind of consume them already through ChatGPT and Claude. But those are like walled garden products. And so where it's going is, ChatGPT and Claude, they're going to build in stablecoin wallets into their application natively. So as soon as that happens, we have 900 million people that are instantly on chain. And so then as soon as you have those 900 million people on chain, well, they're going to have a stablecoin wallet, and those stablecoin wallets are then going to be able to call X402 resources. So suddenly, if that happens, which is going to happen, I don't think that's a matter of if, that's a matter of when. Well, then suddenly you have 900 million people, which is like 20x the current crypto weekly active users that can call your X402 resource with a stablecoin. So the opportunity here is like ridiculously massive for builders and just like everyone right now. So that's kind of my view of like how this is going to play out in the next 2 years. Is like the X402 ecosystem is going to evolve, and we're going to build a bunch of these resources. It's going to be a lot of fun, and then in ChatGPT and Claude and these other majorly popular ones are going to turn on these stablecoin wallets, and then bang, you suddenly have hundreds of millions of people that are willing to interact with these X402 resources, and you unlock this entire like new GDP on the world. So that's crazy.
I guess a question that I had is where's the value accrual here? Obviously we have a ton of traders in crypto. That's what we do, right? Like where does the value accrue to? Like, is it protocols like yours, or where's the opportunity there?
Yeah, so good question. So I think that, I mean, my unpopular take is that like we don't need 100 million tokens for every single agent that launches. I think that like what this unlocks is that it allows like anyone anywhere in the world to like even vibe code one of these X402 resources. So from like a builder point of view, you have an opportunity now to like build some of the best, like in analogous terms, like you have the opportunity to build like like some of the very first apps in the App Store. That's kind of the equivalent of what these X402 resources are. And like you can own some of that space in the world, and you can probably do incredibly well from that. And so the opportunity is there's a huge opportunity in builders building these resources, and then there's also like a huge opportunity in companies and projects that are helping people to build these resources, because there's like an insane amount of network effects that you get when you can kind of like aggregate these resources, help them be found easily, discoverability, reputation, all of these like services on top that help builders and consumers decide what they're going to build and what they're going to buy. And so that's really where we're trying to like land ourselves, is like building these tools. And so value accrual, I think, is going to go to the projects that that are very useful for builders and consumers, and get a lot of mindshare and get a lot of users that way, because the users are ultimately going to be monetizable and grows the pie. So so I think that's where a lot of it's going to land. And then you kind of take the kind of the token like the project's token into question, and then you think, well, tokens are incredibly good at bootstrapping networks, and so there's a lot of like incentive structures that can be put in place to help bootstrap the network with a public token. And then there's also like value accrual potential into the token for projects too. So I think there's going to be like, this is like I think often in crypto it's very like a lot of it's zero sum in terms of it's like money cycling between one project to another, depending on like the chart. But I think this is like one of the first opportunities where there can be actually massive net inflows of new capital into the system because crypto native people have an edge here because we kind of understand crypto. We can build these projects. Like if you build a project and you put it on ChatGPT, and then some random person who's never used crypto sends it spends $10 on it. Well, that's another $10 into the ecosystem, into the kind of like crypto. And so that's going to happen to like hundreds of millions of people. And so like the opportunity here is like it's a blue ocean. Like this, it's so overwhelmingly large that I think some people aren't comprehending it. But yeah.
It feels like at some point we kind of hit a standstill or dry period with innovation coming from the crypto side, right? Like when L1s were all popping off, everyone was creating their own L2 or L1, and it felt like there was innovation there. It just seems like we haven't seen that for a while, and X402 is kind of giving me that same feeling. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it's and the thing is, it's like it's not even trying to be fancy. Like it's not even trying to be like some crazy new liquidity protocol thing. It's just like using the infrastructure that already exists, so it's so easy to adopt, so easy to consume. And anyone can just like any chain can like adopt it. And so yeah, I mean it's like, it's funny how these things just emerge. And not trying to be too complex. However, like under the hood, I'll say is like like 15 years of industry building crypto rails, L1s, L2s, stablecoins, and all this stuff isn't back under the hood of it all. So, but like on the top of it, it's so simple and elegant to understand. So yeah, it's a huge innovation. I'd say there is a lot of innovation that goes on in crypto, like on the kind of in the research side. But often it takes like years for that to distill into like consumer products. So like I think ZK is like one of those technologies where it's still like it's kind of like like dial-up internet back in the day. Like it was so slow that like you couldn't like do anything with it really. And then like as soon as broadband comes along, well then suddenly like Facebook and like all these socials emerge and YouTube and everything because like you can actually have so much more bandwidth. And so like ZK is kind of like in like a similar like kind of position, and it's getting really good now and really fast. And like when ZK like when you can generate a zero knowledge proof like on your phone for like like a fraction of a second, well then suddenly like the scope of like what you can do with it like opens up. Well, like it's taken so long to get there, and so like a lot of innovation to get to that point. So yeah, I think there's a lot of innovation that goes on, but it often doesn't really get the limelight.
Nice. I see you guys have the StarkNet facilitator up. It says the world's first X402 facilitator on StarkNet. Obviously, maybe talk about this and your plans to integrate into more chains than just StarkNet.
Sure. Yeah. So we're great friends with the crew of Starkware. We think they're some of the best in the game at what they do and what they push on. I think StarkNet's a really interesting environment to build products on because of its like uniqueness. And it's really easy to build on now. And so we're pushing on that direction with Starkware, building the facilitator, building tooling and examples around how you can do that. And so like in the future, like it's incredibly easy just to add a new EVM network. So you can imagine like all EVM networks will just adopt this because it's so easy to do. And then there's obviously all the other L1s, which will adopt as they kind of come online too. Like I think the big stablecoin L1s are going to be like have a high velocity of adoption. Well, we'll see, but I think they're going to serve a place. Like I think as I said, like I think the opportunity here is so big. It's not like zero sum where like if one team doesn't get the thing, the other team gets it. Like I think that like this is a 1 + 1 = 3 type deal in terms of like what you're building for right now.
I have a question on that actually specifically. We see a bunch of X402 projects. I'm sure some of it's chasing narrative, but like when you look at the landscape of everyone else kind of doing stuff here, like are there buckets that you're putting these projects into, and then how do you tell like who's doing it for real versus just kind of like it's a narrative thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could probably distill that pretty quickly if you kind of look at projects that were around like a month ago even, and see what they were talking about and see what they were building. And so, but then it's also, I'm sure there's a lot of genuine people that genuinely great builders that have seen what's happened with X402 and they discovered it. Maybe they're distracted in something and they're probably building something. So I don't think that's like a pure kind of filter. But I'd say look for projects with like high activity on GitHub that are trying to solve like a novel problem. Using it, whether it's like in a consumer space or in a business to business, or privacy, or one of these kind of like big categories. But make sure that they do your own research and check that they're actually building something unique and they just haven't just like fork code, which is often the case sometimes.
Well, so. you guys have been around for nearly 300 days. Do you think that's really helping giving you credence with this whole emerging X402 narrative and the heat we've seen on Twitter?
Yeah, I think people have taken notice that we've been driving this for a long time, and we have a big vision around it all. So yeah, I definitely think the market's taking notice of that. Yeah, I think as soon as you like sit down and think deeply about X402 and its opportunity, like your mind is blown.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. How obviously you guys are on Pump Fund. Have you guys you didn't migrate or anything, it seems. How's your fees coming? Are you guys making any money off the token right now, in terms of fees, or maybe tell me more about the token, why it exists, why it has to exist, value accrual back to the token, if you're making any fees from it, just the whole broader scope.
Yeah, so yeah, we launched on Pump. We're actually multi-chain, so we're on Starknet and we're on Base as well now. So we've got tokens trading there. Yeah, so the Dreams token will like serve like a crucial part in like some of the build out of or attempting. I'm not going to go into specifics around it all. But like as I said before, tokens are incredibly good at bootstrapping networks. So so we have a product called the Router, which is the inference project. And if you look on our site, you can see that a percentage of the revenue that's generated through the router through X402 goes to buy back the token. And so that's one of like the early parts that we're doing with the token. And so kind of everything we do leads back into the router and the products that are served from it. So yeah, so we've got that buyback system with the router. And then there's things coming in the pipeline using the token around some of these new products that are about to launch. Like Lucid hasn't actually launched yet, and Xgate is still kind of in early alpha. So yeah, maybe I'll have to come back on in a couple of months.
Sweet. Well, we'll definitely have to get you back on for some updates.
Yeah.
What about team? And obviously, is it just you building this? You guys are working on a few different things. How many people are hands on right now?
Yeah, so we've got about 6 people, developers, BD, marketing, in aggregate. So yeah, so there's a bunch of open source contributors and people building on the product too. So yeah, it's a small team. But I think the thing I see startups and AI in general right now is that like I think you can create an incredibly lean and efficient teams now with AI tooling, and like I think you're crazy if you don't. And like I think often with software, this goes in general. Like I think like a year ago, 18 months ago, like the optimal way to build a piece of software was probably with like 2 people, and like you had this like your tag team of just like building features. I think you can still do that, but like if you really want to move fast, then like leverage like a fleet of AI agents to efficiently build your software, and you can kind of like you can build insanely fast. So that's really what we're trying to do here. Is like we're trying to create like a tight elite team that's incredibly good at building products quickly.
Sweet. Josh, you said you had a question in the chat. I'm not sure if you got that covered or.
Yeah, that was to just like the landscape of other teams building. We talked about utility, revenues, business model, roadmap. I don't know if you have. I think when we had a PAI on, they talked about the total transaction volume was in like the low single digit millions for let's say X402 payments. I'm not like super watching the payments volume every day, but like what metrics should people point to be like, oh yeah, okay, like X402, the hype is meeting kind of the adoption of it?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the most important metric is probably number of sellers and number of buyers. That's probably those are the most important things, because transaction volume is kind of like it's not it's not a leading indicator, I'd say, because it can be like like I could just go send $1 million over X402 right now. It's like, oh well, I'll just increase the total volume by 20%. Like it's not but like you wouldn't do that. Like that wouldn't make any sense, because like if I'm gonna go send $1 million on chain, like I wouldn't use X402. I'd go and like sign a message. I'd go and like send a transaction. I'll go and do it. I'll handhold it. Like so a lot of like X402 payments are going to be like very small amounts. So they're going to be like cent, 10 cents. And so there's going to be millions of them. But they're going to be super small. So I'd say that, yeah. So I'd say the most important metrics are like buyers and sellers. Those are leading indicators to me. And so, yeah. So like one of our So we've got this like a product called Lucid Agents, and it's open source tooling to help you kind of build these things. So any developers looking out, go and reach out or go and check that package out. You can get bootstrapped incredibly quickly, and like you can create one of these sellers in like 20 minutes. And even like vibe code it.
Can we touch on that a bit more? Maybe your roadmap,
yeah.
Maybe a little deeper idea on what Lucid is and some other things you're working on. You mentioned.
Sure. Yeah. So like the immediate, so right now we've got the router launch, we've got the Lucid Agents package live, which is iterating at a pace and allows you to like spin up these X402 resources easily. And then we've got Xgate, which is live, but it's still kind of early alpha. And Xgate's kind of evolving into like we're trying to make it like the Google of agentic search. So you'll be able to include it in all of your agent designs and plug it into ChatGPT and Claude via MCP. And so that's coming very, very soon. And then Lucid is planning on, it's kind of like an early alpha right now, but it'll be a public launch soon. And it just helps people kind of incorporate the other tooling to build kind of like these products that allow them to sell their resources through X402. So yeah, there's a lot coming in the pipeline right now. So there's Lucid launch, Xgate launch, the tooling around Xgate. Yeah, so.
Sweet. I think we've covered most of what we had on mind. I think you've walked a couple miles at this point. So maybe we start wrapping here. I am looking at this project tab on the website. Can you maybe tell me about what these projects are that I'm looking at, or what you do for them?
Yeah,
exactly?
Yeah, so a lot of those look like community projects. Actually, some of those are actually pretty old right now, so that needs to be updated. But some of those are, they're using the Daydream framework, or they're using Lucid, or in some aspect to build those kind of products.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we need to update that, because it's been a manic couple months, let's say. It's one of those periods in crypto where like years happen in a month. So.
Well, of course, that's what we want to be positioned for. So.
Yeah.
You guys are positioned for it, certainly. And Loaf, I think this has been a really interesting and fascinating conversation. We want to get you back on when you have more. Yo. GM
Vax, what's up?
My
OJ,
guy.
GMCG,
Love for
Abrar,
Loyal.
Shout out Loyal.
Let's go, man. I'm excited for that one.
Skay, Luminaria. We'll ask them.
I don't know what's up, dude. I can't see all these comments. I can see some of them, but I can't see
some of them too.
It's weird.
Maybe it's when you join the stream.
Who knows? Josh, I also had a question, man. Bringing up these when we screen share, is there a way to make the screen bigger? Because I can see it's kind of hard to read as a viewer sometimes.
You mean the side by side? Like
yeah, I mean, so when the screens, I would say like this format right here.
Yeah, you know what? I try and maximize it this way. It's more the aspect ratio that kind of sets it at that size. But I'll try for you. I'll try.
I don't know. Well,
Full
we got
screen
15
mode,
minutes.
Yeah, we can do that.
We could do that. We got 15 minutes. Man, guys, I woke up this morning, looked at my phone. Bitcoin's up like 1.5%, 2%. I'm like, oh, finally. It's a green day. We're doing good in the markets.
And then the New
York opened.
And then 9:30 a.m. happened. So
man, it's exhausting. It's exhausting, Chief.
It's a rough day for the boys. Look, Bitcoin, this is the view on it right now. I think I still hold the same position. Maybe we wick below this red line, tap 98K or something. But I think over 100, I think 100K holds. Outside of that, just waiting to break this downtrend, boys. I mean, it seems like it's coming. We got the end of QT in December. We got rate cuts. We got, ton of tailwinds, not much headwinds. So hopefully we see Bitcoin turn around at some point sooner or later.
Interestingly enough, as we get into, late November, December, maybe even January here, that is typical Pico of the 4-year cycle. So like, interestingly enough, it'll be kind of, I don't know. I want to see the emotions and what the timeline's saying during the end of this year, because that's when the 4-year cycle would be topped out, right? Hypothetically. So we obviously have said multiple times, we don't really subscribe to the 4-year cycle anymore. Just feels like that we're in a different spot completely now, but it'll be interesting to see if everyone's just like calling for tops. I actually do think 100K doesn't hold. I think we kind of tumble a little bit more into deeper in the zone. But what do you guys think? What are you expecting?
We called the stream 80K yesterday. So what was that thesis?
That thesis was just clickbaiting is what that thesis was. But I could see 80K genuinely. I think more like 90 sub 92 is probably where we end up. Maybe bottom out like 88 to 85, but I could see us tumbling genuinely for a while, which I'm not happy about.
My overall thesis for this is, look, everyone's believing in a 4-year cycle, right? Everyone's still believing in that. Once that gets invalidated, which I think happens in Q1 of next year, once that gets invalidated, we're off to the races. Like there's nothing else anyone would have. There's no other information that these people will be prepared with to handle the break of a 4-year cycle.
What do you think invalidates the 4-year cycle? Interestingly enough, if you actually look at the tops of every cycle, in 2017 it was December 17th. In 2021 it was November 8th, and if the top is in here, it would be October 25th, which would be it would be October 25. the 6th, Monday the 6th, which would be basically everyone 1 month at the top of every cycle front run, which I don't know, interesting to think of. If there is a 4-year cycle, could it be front run 1 month? I'm not saying I'm not calling tops, guys. I'm not trying to scare you here, but I don't know. The top is priced in 1 month prior, 1 month earlier every cycle so far.
I mean, could we have topped out? Maybe. Not a well, hold on. Pause. Could we have topped out? Maybe yes, but no. My base case is we still continue to trend up. I zoom out and I look at this line every single time. We wick below it a few times this cycle so far, but we haven't closed the weekly below the SMA, the 50 SMA since we've started this run up for Bitcoin. But we have seen like this top here, double top last cycle. A lot of people are starting to like come out and say, "Oh my gosh, like." It looks like last cycle, there's this like sort of like double top thing going on. So a lot of people are saying, well, did we top? Maybe we did, whatever. Not really drawing this the whole right way, but you get the point. A lot of people are coming out with that, but to be honest, I don't really think the cycle is done yet. Tops don't get formed when everyone is looking for it. Tops get formed when people say there is no top. And what will push people to say there is no top? Well, if Bitcoin breaks the 4-year cycle, the multi-year bull run, the Trump multi-year Trump bull run thesis comes into play, and then we're off to the races, and that's when we top, right? But like right now, everyone's too cautious. Everyone is calling for a top, and quite frankly, we haven't really seen like, yes, I know dynamics are different, but we haven't seen a sustained run, like a sustained. We've seen it for like weeks at a time, but nothing sustained over months. Months.
Yeah, man, it's rough out here.
Yeah, it is what it is.
To add insult to injury here, the Dow Jones is at all-time highs. Gold is pushing back up to all-time highs as we speak. S&P and the NASDAQ are both hovering right around all-time highs. So again, we have this situation where Bitcoin is tumbling, crypto is tumbling, and equities in the broader market are just ripping.
But I'm glad you mentioned gold, because gold is a really good thing to look at right now. We called a top on gold not too long ago. I remember we talked about that when people were lining up in the streets to buy gold in the store. Costco. They were dumping on retail. But look, this happens, right? With a parabolic top, it comes up to try to retest it sometimes, and it just kind of forms this weird like shoulder. I don't think this will be a continuation like to new all-time highs for gold, in my opinion. But I'm just a smooth brain crypto degen, so at the same time, like I could be completely off with that, but that's my opinion. We had to see a bounce in gold at some point, right? And it's no surprise that Bitcoin is tanking while gold is pumping. But as soon as this kind of falls off, then, golly, look at this chart. Look at this chart on the weekly. We've gone like pretty much up only since, I'd say since the stone cold cycle bottom, quote unquote cycle. But yeah, we'll see how this plays out for Bitcoin. On chain is looking rough. On chain is rough, but however, the boys are eating. If you got into this Met trade, though, sheesh. We call this Met trade out all the way down here on stream last week. We went through the full thesis with you guys. And then we have Met 17 million at a 400 FDV. We'll see how this plays out for Bitcoin.
On-chain's looking rough.
On-chain is rough, but however, the boys are eating. If you got into this Met trade, though,
sheesh.
We called this Met trade out all the way down here on stream last week. We went through the full thesis with you guys. And Met is looking more and more like a solid trade right now. There's a few metrics I want to bring to you guys' attention. In this tweet here, it talks about, pump 57 million in buybacks at a 4.5 FDV, uni 38 million in buybacks, 9 billion FDV, and then you have Met 17 million at a 400 FDV. So insane opportunity, especially when pretty much every launch pad or most launch pads on Sol are are built on top of Meteora. So something to watch out for there. The Met homies are eating right now. They're eating right now. What else? What else do we got? Did you guys see Mayhem mode? You guys see that?
Yeah, it just came up, but let's watch it on stream. This is Padre Terminal and Pump Fund's new initiative. I don't know if I understand it. I think I've heard this. They say the goal for Mayhem mode is to add more volatility to coins, as if more volatility is what the trenches need. But I can pull it up. Yeah,
I got it.
Sweet.
Here we go. So let's watch this video with that intro in mind.
No volume, chill.
Reshare.
You had it muted, I think, just so you know.
There it goes.
Love it. Love it. So that's Mayhem mode. Mayhem mode is
They
here.
called it
Terminal users.
Terminal. That's the first time I've seen them call it Terminal. Wow, that's super
like it.
cool. Yeah, I like
it,
that a lot.
So a lot of stuff happening over there at
Can you explain this?
Like, so I mean, so Mayhem mode, basically TLDR is they'll have like 24 hours, at least from my current understanding, is they'll have 24 hours of like random pumps using the volume or using the fees generated from the volume on certain tokens. They'll use to pump these charts basically. So and it's just going to create like a ton of
that's interesting.
volatility. Yeah. So I got to get the full TLDR. I was looking for like a good breakdown.
That is terrible, in my opinion.
So yeah, but remember yesterday how we were talking about the hitting all-time highs in the first 2 hours? I think what they're trying to do is spread that chart out a little bit further and say, okay, you might get volatility happening, further on in a coin's life. Right, so it's incentivizes sniping, but there's also a hold incentive where all that fees from the prior day maybe are then pumped into the chart at a random time.
Yeah, I just see people setting limits and just fading off all the pumps that Pump Fund just inorganically makes.
Dude,
that is weird, but
it was crazy because there were, before it went live just a few minutes ago, like there were almost 14,000 failed launch attempts in the last 4 hours.
When you say failed, what do you mean by that?
Like, I guess people were trying to, kind of front run it. Like they were trying to be the first token ever launched using like the new Mayhem mode. So yesterday we talked about it having like a lower bonding. So there's not like a full bonding curve like it is now. It only takes like 7 SOL or 5 SOL to bond or something. But yeah, a lot of people were trying to front run this and failed at it.
That's crazy. We should have Loyal coming up in a couple minutes here. Do we want to get a little TLDR?
Yeah.
They have been kind of the talk of the town. Not the talk of the town in MetaDAO world because Avicii exists, but they have been getting some traction, I should say. People are starting to chatter.
Well, here's a nice TLDR
it's
here.
It's Cyber first, then Loyal at 115.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah, got it. Yeah. Got it. In that case.
Did I write that? Miswrite that?
No, I just was looking at the schedule earlier and I totally thought.
Yeah, no, you got them flipped.
Okie dokie. Yeah. Okay, well, Cyber's first. And this one I had a little difficulty understanding here. Oh, I was writing the title today and I put Loyal first. All good.
That's good.
Can we get a TLDR and Zyber? Because I was looking into them and I had a little bit of trouble understanding exactly what it is they offer.
That's That's a really good question. So here's their Twitter. The OS for ownable AI apps, agents, and machines, powered by the 0 to 100 engine. So here's what they basically talked about.
I can give a TLDR of what I read from that post, and like they put out like a longer form post on their website. They were talking about something in terms of gamifying launches, right? So I'm not sure if it's a launch pad, but it's launches, and they make sure it's a little more random or a little different than the current model. So I'm not sure if that's maybe a new primitive or part of what they offer. I know they have AI agents, obviously, as an offering. If you scroll down, you can see a couple they mentioned, but luckily, we'll have a team here to tell us.
Yeah, I'm interested to dig into this one. So this is so it's a launch pad essentially.
Look, I can't even confirm that, so I'll just defer to the team.
Yeah, because I didn't really see like any like threads or anything on this one.
I like the branding.
Yeah, the branding
cool
is sick though.
Cyber, what's up?
Hey guys, nice to meet you.
Oh,
is this
shit.
the first voice changer we've had?
Second.
Chill.
Yeah, but we'll
This
talk
is nice.
first real one. How does that work, dude? Or do that? I don't even know what's going on.
Well, so now let me do a little intro. So my name is Radius. I am a networking manager at Cyber. So to tell you a little bit more about Cyber, it's a protocol for intelligent economies. Essentially, we're building the rails for AI agents, apps, and machines that can run and operate autonomously. Think of it as an operating system for ownable AI, both digital and physical. So the current problem is that the launch pads are sort of like casinos. You probably have seen on Fun and a lot of others. There's the hype over substance. And another problem is that AI has no verifiable rails. There's no accountability. There's no ownership. You cannot verify where the data is going. And other disadvantages. And Cyber is here to face this with verifiable logic, fair launches, and real ownership, thanks to our infrastructure that we're building.
Okay, there's a lot to dissect there. Let's walk it back a little bit. Let's start with the team. Let's start with yourself. You obviously are focused on staying anonymous. But we'd love to hear about your background. We'd love to hear what qualifies you to build this out, maybe the team that's working on it. And I'd also love your idea on anonymity. We're seeing a lot of teams come out today and put their face first. What maybe led for the decision not to do that on your end?
Yeah, so the thing is, we're not even positioning ourselves as a team. We're positioning ourselves as the collective. Essentially, that means that anyone can join it, and everything is open source. So we're basically keeping everything transparent. Every action, you can prove it, you can see it, but you cannot know who we are. The only thing is that we're anonymous. Apart from that, everything else is transparent.
You said we're anonymous. It reminds me of you guys remember Anonymous, the hacker group?
Yeah,
right?
the actual Anonymous.
We are Anonymous.
Yeah.
That's funny. Maybe tell me the power behind open sourcing. Why you guys take it so serious? Why you think it's important to what you're building and implementing today?
I think it's very important to have the ability for everyone to contribute to the project and verify what the project is about, and like have all the code in a transparent way where everyone can look at it, everyone can see what is it about, how it works, and test all the components that we have. I think it's crucial because we're trying to achieve completely trustless here.
Interesting. Okay. This is This is an interesting conversation here. I can tell you this is probably the first I've had of this manner, but tell us a little bit about what you're building. You guys are doing it in a democratized, decentralized way. There's a big prize pool. You're open sourced. Maybe break down a little more detail on what it is you guys do. I was a little confused when I was reading earlier, so would really appreciate that.
Very our core products are, we have two core products. It's 0 to 100 engine. Essentially, it's the platform for fair, transparent, and randomized launches. Essentially, it's built specifically for AI apps and AI agents, both physical and digital. Apart from that, we're working on the second core component of Zyber, which is going to go live soon as well. It's called Proof Framework. Essentially, it's a framework that allows for all the AI logic to run in secure enclaves, also known as trusted execution environments, TEs, and that allows to prove everything an agent or an app does. So it's going to be provable, auditable, and real. Apart from that, the neat feature of the 0 to 100 is that it's fair, and the way we achieve it is we don't have a bonding curve. Instead, we have a period where everyone can get at the same price. And when the certain cap is reached, the agent or app is negotiating, and then it proceeds from there.
I think to really understand this model that you're building, the way you're changing launch pads, getting away from the bonding curve, we have to understand the flaws in the system today and the bonding curve today. Can you tell us maybe what inspired this 100 engine, what you can see wrong? I saw this tweet up a little earlier. It said, the problem isn't the game, it's pretending the game was even fair. So maybe give us a little insight into the thought process behind creating 0-100 and this new primitive, if you will.
It's, yeah, for sure. Essentially, the launches right now are pretty repetitive, and those famous sort of arrayed. And the problem with it is that the like usually the outcome is known since the beginning. There are sectors, there are builders, and the users and retail traders are always, almost always losing. And 0-100 is here to fix it by essentially just providing a provable way to enter a sale of a certain project and contribute to it.
Okay. What does that mechanism look like?
Essentially, we have a platform where any builder can come with their AI agent or an AI app and launch a fundraise there, essentially. The neat thing about the 0-100 engine is that it's randomized, so liquidity, which LP is randomized, and it's capped, and the launches become transparent thanks to that. Also, there are some buyback mechanics. Essentially, 0-100 engine also acts as a flywheel, allowing to make the token stronger all the time. And there are also retention rails.
Can you give us an example of a launch? So if I'm a trader or someone was Sol, am I coming to your platform, buying it at 100K, everyone's getting in at 100K, I get my allocation at 100K. What if I don't get in? Is there like, once that's filled, is that it? And it starts trading live and I have to buy in the open market? Just give us an example of what it looks like to actually go through a launch as a trader.
So the thing is, it starts at a 0 market cap, and everyone gets a at the same price. And then when the certain pool is reached, the app is graduating, and then the trading actually starts. But before that, it's like everyone is getting in at the same price. And the neat thing about the trading start is that it starts at a randomized timing. So it's impossible to know for snipers when exactly is it going to launch and how to use it to their advantage. So
sorry to clarify, did you say a 0 market cap?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So so how do I know how many tokens do I get? So if I have, $1,000 a soul, how many tokens do I get at a 0 market cap? Because technically that's infinite.
Yeah, true. That's a good question. I think our technical team would be able to better explain it. I'm not sure if I tend to provide it in all the details.
No worries.
But the main idea is as I described.
Okay.
Got it. You mentioned the technical team. I see here there was one. I mean, it seems like you guys have been building for a while, and I want to dig into that, but I don't want to jump ahead too much here. But can you break down your team a little bit here? Who's helping you build this? I know you consider yourself a collective, but I saw a number of 30 plus quote unquote team members. So can you give us a quick breakdown of the team and
maybe the structure?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, we have more than 40 team members by now. Mostly we have, the biggest part of our team is the tactical team. There's consists of the tech leads and also AI engineers, stock contract engineers, and other tech guys. Apart from that, we also have the other team, the mastermind behind the project is the brains. He was planning initially to join this podcast, but he could not make it. And the team members we have a lot of guys from the FAANG companies. We have guys coming from Facebook, and also we had engineers coming from NVIDIA. So yeah, we have a big and pretty tactical team working on this project.
How do you guys build a team like this? Do you find them yourselves? Is someone doing business development and going reaching out to them? Or are they just coming to you, for the open source technology and contributing?
Yeah, we already have a few open source contributors. Then the core team is mostly to the state of Clancy's, our previous projects. Also the core team members. So yeah, we basically just onboarded them as acquaintances half of us from our previous career.
Okay, I gotta ask about this apology letter. You say in here that it doesn't help that Zyber lets you launch trading swarms, prediction agents, AI streamers, provably fair social feeds, tokenized robots, and then even entire studios run by code. Whatever you imagine, Zyber gives you rails that turn it from real to
you got it.
real from block 0. Okay. Turn it real from block 0. So that statement, basically, you're launching all these products that we already see on X that are already tokenized. Like people have launched all these things already. When you do this apology letter, it's kind of tongue in cheek a little bit that you guys are going to disrupt all these people. Is that what we get from this, or give us a breakdown of what we can what does this mean? What's behind this letter?
Well, it's just a play off of Vichi's letter, right?
Yeah, partially. The thing is, what's described here is what Zyber is allowed to do and what our core components will allow to do. Essentially, the 0.8 engine gives like a way for fair launches and for retail traders to actually be able to contribute and invest fairly. And the proof framework, as I described, it allows to make software and even hardware provable. Essentially, that concerns real, like robots, AI robotics, some AI agents, and these agents can do anything. Also includes prediction agents and other similar ones.
Let's maybe talk about that. We kind of got the 0 to 100 engine for the most part. Maybe we can go back and touch on that a little bit later. But earlier you mentioned that you have this AI logic framework, and I think you just kind of touched on it there. Let's dive into that a little bit. Can you explain what that looks like, what that is, why it's important?
Sure. So that framework is meant for builders, specifically for AI agent and AI app developers. What it allows to do is it allows to bridge the off-chain AI logic and on-chain verification. So the current situation is that usually when users are using, for example, ChatGPT or any other AI app, it cannot be verified. And the users cannot know where the data is going, how it's being handled, and other stuff like that. And what Proof Framework allows to do, it allows to verify all of that using on-chain verification and also TE execution. By TE execution, I mean trusted execution environment. Essentially, it's a piece of the CPU that allows to prove that certain code was executed. And the main idea is that the host of that CPU cannot access the data that is processed inside that trusted execution environment. So that allows us to create actually decentralized way to run complex AI logic and verify it on chain. Apart from that, it allows agents to interact on different chains. So it's called Agent Interoperability Layer, AIP, and it really like turns AI into something you can audit.
Got it. Can I just there's a lot of moving parts here. This is more than just like a pump fund. There's, AI off-chain verifiable execution stuff happening here. Tons of different moving parts. So if you're to use other products as analogies that people might know, so there's the core pump fund that you mentioned. It's kind of like pump, but way more, I think, better for users. Then what are the other components you've strapped on here? Do you have any other analogies to other products people might be familiar with?
Yeah, it could be compared to virtuals. You might have heard it previously, and partially similar to dev.fi, because it allows folks to launch AI-driven apps. But Cyber provides something a lot more complicated and a lot more advanced here.
Got it. So I don't know if you guys had any other questions on that. I wanted to ask a little bit about, so you guys don't have a token. I wanted to kind of talk about launching and even before that, even just kind of talking about how long you guys have been building this. It seems like you guys have a pretty strong community. They're present here in the chat. You guys have a pretty strong presence on X as well. Can you tell us a little bit about just the building up phase to building this kind of advanced, I don't even know if I should call it a launch pad, but kind of walk us through the story there.
Yeah. So the thing is, we've been like observing the market since a long time ago, and we can see that that everything is being very centralized, especially when it comes to big tech software, like AI chatbots and stuff like that, and it becomes really monopolized as well. So users cannot really verify what's going on with their data, how these apps work, how their data is used as well, and that's why we're motivated to fix it, because no one really provides a solution for that.
I'm looking at this tweet here I have pulled up. You guys mentioned X402, prediction markets. You obviously have some privacy aspects to you. Lots of buzzwords, lots of big things going on. Maybe just one by one break some of these down. What are you guys doing exactly in terms of, and actually, let me walk it back firstly. What is Lumeria? Lumeria is mentioned here, 64,693 messages to Lumeria, 270,000 messages across all chats, lots of XP collected, social accounts league, quest complete. I think I'm kind of missing what this is here, but what is Lumeria and what are these stats? What does this mean?
Sure. Lumeria is our first AI agent ever launched on Cyber, and she is also Cyber's mascot. But she has like certain capabilities, so the users can chat with her. She also has her own fully automated Twitter account where she tweets based on her data feeds. She also has her own YouTube channel where she autonomously streams. She has music streaming capabilities, and she does it on her YouTube. Apart from that, the first point that you see there is Lumeria's YouTube riddles. Essentially, she gives into the craft campaign that's going on. Lumeria is giving out one word a day, and the users must collect those words to form a riddle, and later on, this riddle will allow it to, the users could solve that riddle, and then, for the answer of that riddle, they could get some additional XPs on the community side. So we have the ability for users to earn XPs on the community side as well.
This is interesting. You made it very interactive for the community. How have you seen the community be a big part in developing what you guys are building?
Yeah, community is essential for Cyber. Essentially, it's we plan to be completely open source. That means we're going to open source the core components, and that would allow the users to contribute from the technical perspective, but also from the community perspective, where the users could actually decide which ideas are going to be implemented, what's the future of the project, and this all could be discussed in the community.
Got you. Tabbing back over, can you talk about the X402 integration, the prediction market integration, all that stuff?
Sure. So we have integrated X402 for our agents. So there is a possibility to accept the payments from the user without any middleman. That's the second point. The third one is being the prediction agent prototype. So right now we have a couple of agents, developers, and their apps that we're incubating in-house. And this is one of them. And the next, I'm going to give some alpha here. One of the next upcoming projects is mentioned as the third point, and the prototype is being cooked out entirely.
Can you say that one more time? I didn't quite catch it.
But essentially, it's the third point means one of the apps that we're incubating in-house.
The third point is the app you're incubating in-house.
Exactly. So we have a few AI talents that we're incubating in-house, and this is the app built by them. It's going to be related to the agents and their capabilities.
Got you.
Sorry, you I'm trying to write notes here for a reply, and I want to get this clear because so I wrote alpha, but you kind of cut out. It was like one of the next projects that you're incubating is, and then it kind of broke out. Do you want to just do one more time, just kind of clearly say this little bit of alpha here, please?
Oh, sure. So this third point mentioned here is the app dedicated to a Cyber's prediction agent that's going to be launched sometime soon.
Okay. The app, along with prediction agents, going to be launched soon. You kind of skimmed over the X402. Why are agent-to-agent payments so important, and how do you see that being, I don't know, just really a game changer in the future as we move into this agent economy?
The thing is that agent capabilities are pretty much unlimited. So you can realize and implement any functionality that can be implemented off-chain. It could be implemented also using AI agents and AI apps. And that also requires, most of the time, to handle payments from the users and to implement that functionality. So X402 is really crucial here. That's why we decided to implement it and make it easier for the future users and developers to work on that.
Got you. Let's transition to the token real quick. We got the team. We got a bit of the roadmap, what you guys are working on. What does it look like with the token? Is there a token coming soon? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think you need a token? The whole spiel.
Sure. So yeah, we actually plan to do some fundraising later on. We're not disclosing the date exact and the exact details in public. But yeah, they're coming out soon, so stay tuned.
Okay. What about roadmap? What do you guys, you gave some hint at some alpha, but what are you guys currently working on? What are you most excited for? Something for the community to really latch onto here.
Sure. So there are two core components that we're currently working on. It's the proof framework and 0 to 500 engine, which acts as the launchpad and as the flywheel. The first one that's pointing out is the 0 to 500 engine. We're currently finalizing all the smart contracts. They're 80 to 90% ready. And later on, we'll plan to release and roll out the proof framework functionality.
Can you tell us what the proof framework functionality is?
Sure. It includes several things. The first one being it gives agents a way to be interoperable on chain. Essentially, you can look at it as a toolkit for building revenue generating agentic apps with the verified performance. What it does is that it includes trustless wallets. It includes on-chain memory. It includes agent interoperability between different blockchains, and also real-time data streams, and more.
Sweet. I think that kind of covers most of what I had in mind. What are you guys thinking? Josh, Jill?
Same here. I mean, there was a few questions that I had like around token launch and things of that nature, but I think he mentioned that it's just kind of soon. I don't want to press. Usually we try to squeeze alpha out of our guests here, Cyber, but you've given us a lot to go on so far, so I didn't want to press too hard.
Yeah, on this token, I have no notes for the show notes on token because I was kind of distracted with something. Did you want to do one last just kind of sentence on like a token, or should people just be prepared to onboard capital to the platform to invest in launches on the platform? Like, what would you like people to do with this protocol or this product?
So we would like the community to take a really close part in our common destiny and be really active on our socials. Currently, it's Discord and our Twitter. And in the future, when we are going to roll out the core components in the upcoming couple of months, we would be really happy to see builders and developers and just users for A to test them out coming in and just exploring our product.
Sweet. Where's the best way for people to keep in contact with you guys? Find you. You just said Twitter. Where can people find the most dense information to really get a better idea of all the details and ins and outs of what you're building?
It's our Twitter mainly. There we post all the latest news and updates on our products. Also, it's our Discord, as well as our website. We currently have the new landing page in preparation. It's going to go live really soon. So please stay tuned for that. It's available at zyber.inc.
Sweet.
Got it.
Dude,
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the most fascinating conversations we've had on MCG. We've not had someone come on with a voice changer like this. So take it for what it is. But man, thanks for giving us a little information. I think your branding is spot on, and
Branding's really good.
this Lumi DJ girl is she's pretty interesting. Definitely pretty interesting.
That's awesome to hear.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Cyber. Appreciate you guys taking the time and looking forward to seeing what you guys are building. So we always like to keep up with guests, especially the ones that we like, and you happen to be one that we love. So, feel free to come back on and share more with us.
I could see this doing quite well. So.
And really enjoyed this space here, guys. We'll be really happy to come on again.
Sounds
Awesome.
good. And you got a
Sounds good.
$15,000 prize pool here. It looks like going on. Is there some way people can enter this, or just closing thoughts?
That's really, thanks for mentioning it. It's for AI Builder Hackathon. It's still going on. It was extended until the November 17th. People can join in now. We're looking for concepts of AI caps that could be built on Zyber. There is a type-time link at the end of this post. People still can submit their ideas, their concepts, or even their working tasks, and our tech team will review it, and we will choose the winner next week.
There you go. I think that's a good note to end it off. Well, thanks for coming on, Cyber. We will love to keep in contact. We'll be following your project, see how this launch goes, see how a few of the launches after that go, and interested to see what you guys spin up. So thanks for conversating with us today.
Yes, thank you. We're glad to be here.
All right.
Wow. That was there was a comment.
The first sentence was like, whoa.
Yeah, dude, that caught me like so off guard. I was like, what? Stay tuned, Zyber.
Here's my takeaways. I think Josh nailed it. Like the branding on that product is super cool. They have an awesome looking Twitter account.
Yep.
Clearly you can tell it's very AI, decentralized cyberpunk theme focused. So I think they nailed that on the head. I think it's a little difficult to understand all their offerings. Maybe it's just I'm too smooth brained for it. So I think maybe having that more clear in writing would be nice. It was also obviously pretty hard to understand the robotic AI voice. But I think we did, as well as we could. I'm interested to see those notes. I think what I would urge listeners to do today is go through their Twitter, try to gather what you can from reading, because he mentioned some cool things with the AI, but I'm still trying to piece it all together myself. What are you guys thinking, Chill and Josh?
Yeah, I would say go through the communities section. Like that's kind of what I was doing like while we were in the interview too, just to get a sense of like what are people excited about, what are people looking forward to, and like you tend to like get a lot of information there too. So definitely go there. But I mean, my first impressions, I like the product. I like the 0 to 1 engine. I think that's a really kind of novel feature. We haven't seen that.
Maybe
done
explain
before.
that a bit to me. Explain that a bit better to me, because it's obviously a launchpad primitive. They are random. They're doing like a flat curve or randomizing it. Some people can get in at a $0 market cap. Maybe
which is impossible. That like $1,000 a soul divided by 0 is undefined. Like you can't even calculate that.
Can you guys explain to me what that looks like then? Because I really didn't grasp that concept.
Yeah, it was really hard to get by with the AI voice. What I got from it was he said everyone can get in at the same price. Like there's a flat price that everyone could get in. And then after that was kind of harder to understand. But that's what I got from it. I mean, it's a little different than a bonding curve, but I mean, I think that's a cool concept.
We're seeing a lot of experimentation with launch pads, and we're seeing it headed in the direction of ownership coins, equity, and stuff like that. So we'll see how a launch pad that maybe doesn't tie in some of those newer holder primitives. I use the word primitives too many times. Looks. We'll see.
Find another word.
I know, right?
Something I was thinking about. Speaking of, like to Josh's point, another launch pad. Like there's so many launch pads like being built right now. Like what they were talking about with their apps reminds me of what Serve is building with their agentic launch pad. But at a certain point, bro, like at what point does it get to? We've even seen launch pads.
We got more launch pads than launches.
We got launch pads for launch pads.
We got more launch pads than traders at this point. Like there's not going to be enough traders. And I think that's really the takeaway for me, at least one of the takeaways from me is the question is where will be the most opportunity for traders? Where should we be positioning ourselves? Where should our audience be positioning themselves? And that's the question, because every launch pad, despite you being a launch pad, you doesn't automatically guarantee you have good launches, or even if they are good launches, doesn't mean that the price goes up.
Yeah.
So like in your mind, where's the best opportunity?
Well,
on SOAR or MetaDAO
right now, yeah.
Thank you.
Can we pivot to MetaDAO and just do a little retro before Loyal pops on here?
Yeah.
Let's pivot, man. What about it?
Right?
Just let's go through meta chart price or chart, and then the different tokens in the eco, and then even pull up Loyal's ICO listing on MetaDAO.
Cool.
Sure.
I can
just to get an idea of the eco, how it's doing today. I mean, today's kind of a crap day, but I mean, we've seen DCAs on Moby Screener on the app for meta projects. I've not seen anything for CPT at SOAR yet. Let's see, global DCAs.
Let me check. Let me pull up the chart right here, the MetaDAO chart. Here you go. And boom, sharing my screen, and let's go down to the 4 hour real quick.
I'd say that's a pretty good looking chart, all things considered.
Yeah, it's holding pretty well. Think this is boom up
150
here.
million market cap. I think I saw a graph saying they made roughly $35,000 in revenue yesterday with no new launches. So just off existing launches, I gotta find that tweet. I should have saved it.
And they were also increasing their fees, right? Their share in LP fees of projects launched from 50% to 100%. So I think there's a little structure change going on there.
Can you explain that?
Let me bring this up. I think this was in his last article. Let me see. Let me see here if I can find it. So here. Boom.
Generally, I'm looking at the eco though. Everything is down roughly 15+%. Loyal's actually holding up the best, I would say, in the entire eco in terms of down 24 hours. It's not holding up very well actually at all now that I look at it. But that's down 5.5% in 24 hours. OMFG down 16, Umbra down 13, Avicii down 15.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin isn't looking too good. I think like one of the few charts that are holding up is something like a MET that's still up. And interesting enough, Melania, we covered the Trump tokens yesterday on stream. Melania actually is holding up really well. But I mean, it's to be expected. Bitcoin's nuking, so a lot of things will nuke with it. But the homie Cryptic, shout out to Cryptic. He's follow him, get in his Telegram. Dude's a Chad. But he kind of talked a little bit about how the meta sell-off here was a bit unfounded, unwarranted. He said next vetted launch is Solomon Labs. We spoke with them, he talked about MetaDAO increasing their share in LP fees of projects launched on MetaDAO from 50 to 100%. They're hiring a market maker for potential centralized exchange listings. And then they'll also open up permissionless listings on the platform. So that'll obviously mean more fees and more revenue. So this is where some of those updates were covered in this article here written by Meta Profit. Shout out him. And I think some of this stuff had to go through Futarchy and go through the community. So some of the updates might not be exactly in this article, but
are the LP fees currently today split with Meteora or something like that? Or are they split with the project?
I thought the project, if I'm not
There's
mistaken.
definitely some going to Meteora too, though. If it's built on their rails.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of things getting sold off today.
What about Iggy Azalea's new? Speaking of launch pads, Iggy Azalea's new launch pad. You guys saw that?
Yeah, I saw Neon was going through a pre-sale.
Yo, what is Neon, bro? This guy's like.
Josh knows who Neon is. That's impressive.
What?
Oh, bro. Come on, I've been plugged in for.
I mean, hey, it's not crazy. If you didn't know who Neon was, I wouldn't be surprised. But Neon is now live. People are saying, man, they're out competing Pasternak over here for the CCM meta. This is hasn't been.
Yo, that's crazy.
35 million market cap? Is that real?
Yeah, so
35.91. Jeez.
Let me share this too. So he tweeted out that that they were live or that they got filled, right? He tweeted out,
this just launched, eh?
Yeah,
4 million market
launched.
cap. Is he paying in his entire earnings from streaming here? Like 35 mil. What are we doing?
So go to switch to my screen. They have this was a pre-sale, number one pre-sale, and according to Scooter, the homie, early supporters buy in at 0.01 cents, and then they launch at 2.5 cents, and the coins are locked on a 7-day cliff, and then they get linearly, or I should say hourly, vested over 28 days.
So right now, those pre-salers are up 4.5x right? 0.035 is the charge. They got in at a $10 million market cap essentially. And over the next after 7 days, they'll actually start being able to sell. This is going to get raped.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%. Where can I short this? What's the ticker, by the way?
N3ON. Terrible ticker.
You know,
I hate
they
numbers and tickers.
Yeah, that's whack. They also they were like in all the content of him talking about this, he talks about like, oh, like I don't own any of this, so I can't sell it. But you know, like it's all volume based. Bro, I don't know. When you say it's gonna get raped, like do you mean the insiders have just gotten that early round, or
pre-salers are gonna no, I don't even think it's insiders. This thing took forever to fill the pre-sale, if I remember correctly. Like no one was bidding, which I was like, finally, we got away from bidding these streamer coins, celebrity coins.
Well,
but
it's not that no one bid, it's no one could bid. I mean, look, the market's been garbage over the last however long, and I don't think after 10-10, I doubt anybody has much that they want to put into a pre-sale of a streamer,
Well, it filled, right? Did it finish filling, or did they just launch?
That's what we saw Scooter say here. Scooter was basically saying the pre-sale did not fill out organically, by the way. Likely a funder marketing team filled out this D-tier streamer Neon's pre-sale. Okay,
But Scooter's profile is flooding, right? So you gotta take everything he says with a grain.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, look, I'm just reading a tweet here, so let's just pick it apart afterward. He said on top of that, idiots who gave their money away have a 28-day unlock period. Most of this money raised will be pocketed, and even less money will be added to the LP pool. So in short, Neon and his team will pocket some pre-sale money illegal and give a low liquidity pool that will be sniped and dumped to zero. If you buy this token, you are probably the dumbest person ever to exist. What's the lick on that look like? Was he at least right on that?
$1 million liquidity, 3.65 million.
Oof. 3.65 million, or not oof. Okay, that's not bad.
10%.
Let's let's pivot though from this in a minute here and do an intro for Loyal.
Yeah,
we got the man in the waiting room.
If you want to pull up Ticker Chill to start that off and just see where we're at.
Neon, you're out of here, bud. I couldn't care less about this, honestly.
So quick TLDR on Loyal, and we'll get full kind of information from the team here. They're solving a problem. The problem is closed AI systems record everything you type. Your data becomes a product. Obviously, that data gets sold. Whereas Loyal, they come with open source, transparent design, private infrastructure, and on-chain verifiable incentives and payments. So there's a lot to dig into here with Loyal. Let's look at the chart real quick, and then we can have the Loyal team up. Let's just get a sense of exactly where we are. I was actually looking at this chart the other day when it was at like 3 mil, I believe. Let's look at the 4 hour real quick. Here we go.
And for those that were wondering, this is MetaDAO, right? So we've been seeing a pretty big resurgence or interest in MetaDAO projects.
And we've seen this play out with MetaDAO projects, right? They launch, they go through this kind of lull period until CT and broader participants start picking up on this. So I mean, it looks like it's starting to catch steam here. I've seen a few like Contra and a few others push this on the timeline. So not a bad spot here. Not a bad spot. So I guess let's bring up the Loyal team.
Hi guys.
GM. How's it going? G Loyal indeed.
It's going well, boys. How's it going for you?
It's going
good.
Interesting. We had an interesting conversation before this with a guy who had a robotics voice on. So that was like a first voice for the masker show.
Yeah. So glad to see faces and hear real voices with you guys. Welcome on the show.
To be honest, after seeing Profit in the mask and all the shows, like I'm not surprised by anything. And I met the guy in person, and he was not wearing a mask, which was kind of let down. I'm gonna lie to you.
Are you saying he wasn't that good looking or something?
No. He was like if I was into boys, I would be into him. Very good looking.
Hot start.
No. Like actually, he can like give a run for our money for everyone on this call. Like he's actually very good looking.
There you go.
Ironically, we've had Prophet on the show 3 times, right? Umbra, Avicii, and then we had a MetaDAO special. Not once have we been able to see the mask. He's been off camera the whole time. So we got to get the mask. I think we'll probably see him in mask at Met Dhabi or in Abu Dhabi, I think.
Oh yeah, probably. Rodin's going to be at Breakpoint as well. I expect that Loyal Colin will be there as well.
Awesome. We'll see you guys there.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, I'm not flying to Abu Dhabi. It's 16 hours away from me. Like I'm in the south. I am not flying anywhere to Middle East, to Asia. It's way too long. It's way dude. Like I like spending 16 hours on a flight. It's
I don't blame you, Chris. I think Josh and I. It's a 14-hour flight right there. I think it's a 22-hour travel day for me to get there. So
we're doing it because we love crypto and stuff. So I don't know why we're doing it. We're just doing it. Yeah.
No, it's just like I just feel so down. I'm just sitting on the airplane for 16 hours, like playing with my thumbs. It's just like pointless. It's like I just feel bad. So, yeah.
I hear you. Well, let's talk about what you guys are working on with Loyal. It's caught a bit of a buzz. I saw some friends on Twitter talking about you guys, so it works out that we get you today. Maybe we'll start with a background on you guys, and then we can jump into the product a bit. Chris,
we're just like AI boys, and we're kind of into crypto, and there's lack of AI talent in crypto because it's like one of my biggest rants is that at one point encryption, crypto, they were like very close together. But at one point we just like moved in different direction, and now like these like circles, they don't really overlap because for a lot of people from like AI niche, like they're looking down on crypto, but in crypto they don't have enough lack of like hardcore low level talent to implement like AI things. So we're coming from really nerdy PhD background. Rodin has dropped out of his physics PhD program.
I see. You were almost trying to tell that I had a PhD, but I didn't.
No, it's like I always say he has PhD program, but he dropped out in the final year of PhD program, and he hates whenever I say that he has PhD because that's the entire thing for him. So
okay, you have 80% of a PhD, but there you
What's
go.
the lore? What's the lore on that? Why did you decide to drop out in the final stretch there?
That's a bit complicated. I mean, I just realized that like my particular field of science isn't that interesting anymore. It was like a very niche
you did
field of optics. Yeah. So
what was it?
It's called singular optics, and it's related to like very specific type of light beams. So it's kind of funny, but
there are like only 2 people working on it in the world, and most of them are very old. So it's like
yeah. So I kind of tried lots of different things and end up here.
Yeah, and well, my background, I had my first exit in China with EdTech startup in China. Like I lived there for 3 years. I realized that I want to work in AI because I have very math focused background. Got full ride at Upstate New York College. Did publications there, and instead of doing PhD program, doing this now.
Where are you guys both from? I'm getting the accents.
I'm originally from Crimea, so it's complicated. It's a very complicated question there. But yeah, I lived in China for 3 years. I lived upstate New York for like 5-6 years, and now I'm in the south.
Where in upstate, if you don't mind?
Like an hour away from Syracuse. Gotcha. Like 40 minutes away from Utica, 2 hours away from
I was gonna say Buffalo, but you know.
No. The other direction, more like central New York. But no, like I've been to Buffalo, and it's crazy cold there. I like love the south because the weather.
I'm in Toronto, so I'm on the other side of the lake. But yeah,
I'm so sorry about that. You're so close to freedom. You can like see it, but you can't touch it.
Low key, that's a nice chirp on Canada these days. Yep.
Yeah.
So
on that,
let's dive into Loyal.
So the idea is that we are AI nerds, and we realize that we have no protection for our data. So I'll use a crypto example that you might relate to a lot. So taxes are very complicated, right? Like dealing with taxes with crypto is very complicated. So let's walk through a scenario, like very bad case scenario. You forgot to pay your taxes. You are suddenly getting audited by IRS, right? That's the worst case scenario. One request is all it takes for them to get all your ChatGPT logs, to get all the tokens you researched, to get all the questions you had about tax evasion. And that's enough to put you next to Wesley Snipes behind bars.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Because yes, for less time, but yes. No, because it's like, there is no, like, if you're talking to a friend, if you're talking to your lawyer, if you're talking to your therapist, there are protections, legal protections baked in. They can't get, like, that information is essentially not discoverable, right? So it's like court cannot use it against you. But the moment you use that information within LLM, it's immediately discoverable. One request is all it takes to get your information. Here are the stats. I brought the stats here. So in the last 10 years, top 4 big tech companies complied with 10 million requests to give up your data, like 10 million users, like, were sold to the governments, basically. 35% of those requests came from the states, and the number of requests grows 25% year over year. And it's only from top 4 big tech companies: Microsoft, Meta, Apple, and Google. So we have no idea about the other companies. And if we're going, like, it's very obvious to me, it's very obvious to the team that AI explosion will only go up, right? So it's like more people will use AI. And that raises the question of our personal data and how those AI interactions will affect our data. Because there are some types of questions that I'd rather not be public at all. Sometimes I ask dumb questions about tax evasion because I was like, how do I navigate that? And I don't want it to be public.
And now you come on a stream and talk about it.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you might do that.
Yeah, alleged tax evasion. But no, it's like think about this. You want your lawyer to be well prepared for the case, right? And if your lawyer, comes up, like, writes an email to you, it's protected. It cannot be used against you. The moment your lawyer uses an LLM to analyze the case, analyze the documents, all the inputs and outputs are immediately discoverable in court. So they can literally use all support that he can use against you. That's the problem, you see.
Do you think most people are aware of this? Right? Like, because I know I use ChatGPT, my girlfriend does. I feel like a lot of people just miss the fact that all this information isn't actually theirs. It goes wherever the heck the data companies want.
Yes, a lot of people are aware of that. It's like, if you, especially like consumers less so, but professionals, yes, like there is a reason why lawyers still don't really have a simple right click to talk to the document, because that's one of the legal framework is one of the biggest challenges, because no one can bring that guarantees that the data is safe and cannot be discovered against your will. You see, that's why I'll give you one real example. We talked, Alliance guys, like Alliance DAO and so on.
Yeah.
Like YC, arguably YC of crypto, love Alliance, great guys. And get this, they had 15 batches, and all of those batches, 10-14 batches per batch, they're all on Telegram. Every day they wake up to 200-300 new messages from all those groups. They need to kind of sort those messages. They need to understand priorities. They need to understand, like, if that matters, if they need to respond. And it takes a lot of time, because Telegram, unlike emails, it's an immediate messaging platform. So you send the message, you immediately get the response. So the amount of time you need to invest just to stay on top of everything is insane. But at the same time, you cannot use ChatGPT to automate that, because you have chats with guys like PumpFun, with a lot of trade secrets, with a lot of private discussions, and the risks of leaking at least some part of that discussion is, like, the costs there are going to be insane. It's like, just like you can forget about Alliance brand if you leak anything, right? If, like, suddenly it gets discovered in court, that's a big issue. And that's one of the reasons why they kind of struggle to adopt any LLM tools, because they have those privacy related things. When you're talking about personalized healthcare, like, are you comfortable as a user to send your, like, blood analysis to Sam Altman? It's like, obviously Sam Altman is not going to look personal at it, but it's like the risk of stuff getting out there, getting leaked, it's a big issue. So we came into Loyal with the idea, how about we design a system that would have guarantees that the data has granular access levels and you can control who can see the data and how the data is getting processed. How about we build it in a transparent way, completely in open source, that has guarantees that no one is but you is reading that data, and that data is not going anywhere. And it's completely kind of a new way of looking at these things, that saying that you can use LLMs without compromising your security, without compromising your privacy, without compromising on the risks. So the idea is like to bring that privacy, but on chain.
So
yeah.
I got a question on this.
Sure.
Maybe walk the average user through this user experience. So right now I go to the OpenAI tab here, go to ChatGPT, ask, create a legal document for this.
Yeah.
How is the experience different with Loyal?
Oh, that's a very good question. So right now we are going to ensure the best and most similar user experience that can kind of relate to what user experience with ChatGPT. Like the idea is that to have a chat interface with certain set of skills, essentially, that you can use to automate certain stuff. Like right now we have swaps, so you can like say like, hey, I want to swap this to that, and it will automatically build a transaction for you. All you have to do is sign it. We also, this week, and I'm very excited about this, I'm very excited. We're shipping, sending money using Telegram handles, and you can like send like, hey, can you send, like, because my goal is like to be able to say, send $100 to mom, and it immediately figures out the context, the handle, like Telegram handle. My mom uses Telegram, she's cool like that. Not to flex or anything, but figures out her handle and is able to send the transaction to her. And no one has been able to do it before, and we figured out a very smart way to do it.
That is an amazing feature, and I wrote that as a piece of alpha here. But back to like, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
It's just like look at this Freudian. It's like he keeps asking me about my wallet address every time he makes a transfer. It's like, Chris, is it your wallet address? Is it still your wallet address?
Oh,
yes.
Huge problem. Like,
right?
We are a business, we pay people too in stable coins, and I'm looking for a solution actually where I don't have to show my all my funds when I do that. So
and there are human errors involved there too. It's like we see this common phishing link where people impersonate your wallet with the first couple and last couple.
Yeah,
we sometimes miss that with human eyes, but an agent will scan the whole thing and like you won't have those.
Yeah, they'll know digits by digits, like
that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Deterministically.
Here's like we talked with Stepan. I love Stepan. Shout out Stepan Simkin from Squad. He's one of the people who I look up to a lot in crypto, because Squad, like on Solana, they're legends. They didn't launch the token. They had the best multi-sig experience. Now they have the best neobank API with like Grid, and they do Altitude for like enterprise banking all on chain. It's like they are pioneering like this stablecoin meta on Solana in a lot of ways. I love Squad so much, and we are looking to kind of help them with agentic needs for the finance, like being able to, for example, to connect the agent that would scan your business email, see the incoming invoice, verify that the invoice needs to be paid, automatically transfer the money, like all those small things that right now you need to spend, like, for me, it takes so much mental energy to ensure that all the numbers line up and I'm like sending money to the correct addresses and so on. It's just like takes so much out of me, and we just wanted to simplify these things.
So, okay, back to my original question, and I want to grab the name of the person you just mentioned because I didn't pick up their handle. Do you know what their handle is on X?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, if you can throw that in the chat, that would be awesome because I'll tag him.
Yeah, of course. Stepan Slimkin. Stepan is like, he is one of the best builders that I personally know. I've been looking up to Stepan for a very long time. Ever since they won their like hackathon in 2021, they've been building a great product.
Yeah. So back to my original question, so there's this, I go to your website, there's this chat interface, I select my wallet, I can ask it anything, but what you were talking there for a second was about like, an incoming invoice to my email, and it would just kind of understand stuff.
So
like, how do I connect it to all these services? Like, what's up?
So the idea is that right now we want to focus on B2C distribution, and I'll explain why, to use it as a leverage for our B2B scale. So right now, there's a group of people that are constantly forgotten about in crypto. And this group is marketing, DevRel, and BizDev people who go to conferences, people who onboard new users, new traders, new developers. There are like no tools for them to automate that. There are no tools who can summarize their Telegram chats. I do a lot of outreach, and I wake up to 300 new messages every single day. And like, you're like part of all these group chats, and there are like tons of good conversations happening, and you're missing out on all of them because I'm not reading 300 messages. It's unrealistic. But I want to be tapped in. I want to kind of sort the messages. I want to automate some responses. I want to book calls, and I want to kind of simplify that. And the idea is that we are starting with the simple services that are targeted at BD people, at marketing people, because they need it. Like everyone starts. I see you smiling when you think about Telegram, because I know that you exist within Telegram, crypto exists within Telegram, and it sucks so fucking much. And the idea there is that if we make a good product for them, they are the guardians of B2B. They are the guardians of their organizations. And through leveraging that use case, the B2C use case for them, we can kind of get into their organizations and be that Telegram summaries and Telegram workflows can be the entry point for their organizations to start using other things.
Yeah. So you got a BD, crypto BD person, longtime crypto BD person, 15 years in sales. We run this show, and Dom is our BD guy here at MCG, and I think Dom has 100 message chats going open right now. What do we do? Do we go to Loyal? Dom logs into Telegram, and it's all life is good?
Yeah, actually that's the goal. It's you can connect it, and we'll have we're shipping interfaces. That's the goal. Our goal right now is to ship this all before the breakpoint, because then Solana breakpoint becomes our sales event, right? So if our software is good enough, you talk to someone that's they complain about Telegram, yo, I've used Loyal for so long, and they do all this stuff, and bam, immediately new user. Because if we do the product is good enough, each offline event becomes our sales event in a lot of ways, because our users will onboard new users because they are talking about their workflows, about their workload, and that is beneficial to us, because then never Telegram is not going away. All the tokens, all the narratives, all the matters, they're coming and going. But Telegram and the number of messages you need to go through, the volume of your work, it stays. And we're kind of constant like that as well. That's why we're starting with this use case.
And I want to be clear for listeners too. We're talking about this Telegram feature. This is not your only feature, right? This is just one of the
it's the leverage. It's the leverage that we're using to get into the market, because we need the early adopters. We need to choose this narrow market that will give us 1,000 people that are really, really, really passionate about us. Because it's better to have 1,000 people of really deep fans than 10,000 of people who kind of like us.
If you let me to jump in for it, because Chris talked a lot about the privacy and the problem, right? But I just want to mention what sets Loyal apart, because there are a number of privacy-focused AI projects, but we do that on Solana for a reason, because it's fully on-chain. So every transaction, every message, and the response you get are facilitated on-chain.
It's within private rollups, essentially.
Yeah.
So only you have the access to that,
And the speed is essentially real time. So you wouldn't be able to distinguish it from even ChatGPT in terms of speed. But again, everything happens on chain. So you can call an AI oracle from your smart contract. You can pay directly from there without dealing with API keys, with HTTP requests, without even card payments. So everything happens on chain, and the storage is on chain as well. So
one thing that is very nerdy but really, really, really cool about that, it means that when done right, there's no single point of failure. You don't depend on our front end. You can self-host. You can still have access to all the conversations. if you decide that at one point you can do the front end or like the app layer better than us, you can fork our front end, you can do any extra features, and all our users will still have access to all the conversations through your app as well. Like we did like full autism, no single point of failure for the design, and no one has ever done that before. And we had to eat so much glass to make it work because it was very painful, and the docs are not very good about like this feature. So like we had to make stuff work.
Yeah. So basically, like ChatGPT would never let you to export your chat's history to cloud.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So they always lock you in, and we want to fully avoid that. So the data is basically tied to your wallet, and you own it, and we never touch it.
Yeah.
And the LLM inside the confidential VM only touches it when it needs to process it and then forgets.
But it's also
so that's the beauty of it, basically.
But it's also not important, not only from this my personal or like Rodin's personal like nerdy DeFi stuff, but it's also very important for big adoption, because obviously one of the biggest adopters that we're looking for like people who would be using squads, so enterprise funds, like big institutions, because right now Solana has I think 2/3 of the all USDC payments through all the chains, and most of the stablecoin payments, 76% of stablecoin payments happen between businesses. So this is the big vertical. But for them to be able to trust us, we need to show the code verification that nothing can happen to their money. Nothing, but like we have no authority of the data, we have no access. We need to show that, and that will open adoption and access and clients that are inaccessible for Claude and ChatGPT and others just because of the way they work. And that's a very unique vertical with very unique access that would allow us to make a lot of money for our holders.
Can we talk about a few things? Firstly, clientele, and you just mentioned making a lot of money for your holders. So I'm gonna at some point get to why you guys went with MetaDAO, and that was your choice, and why you chose to raise there. But let's talk first about what did I say first?
While you get your thoughts together, Dom, you mentioned that you have to first prove it. Like, what's the step? What's the step to prove? What's the step for the proof of concept there?
You mean that nothing happens to your data?
You mentioned that you guys don't control anything. Your data is fully protected. How do you prove that to some of these enterprise clients?
So it all comes back to hardware verification. We use two things. We use Million for user-owned storage. They're using like a mix of MPCs. Give me a second. I'm sorry. I need to
Bless you.
Thank you. So I'm using Million. We're using Million for user-owned data storage. Here you have an article on the main screen right now. So they're using a mix of MPC and TEs. So essentially, we use hardware-backed verification, like hardware signatures, to verify the code that's being run on the machine. So one of the unique things about confidential machines is that they can kind of make a snapshot of what's being run within them, and they can show that snapshot with hardware signature. There's like certain chips that do that. And that allows us to show that hash, like signed hash, and point to the hash from our GitHub and say like, look, these are the same hashes. And look, this is the hardware signature from that machine. It means that as long as you can trust the data center that the machine is in, you can trust that the code that's being executed is the same code that you see on our GitHub. It means that you can sit down, you can audit our code, you can verify that nothing is getting leaked anywhere. And as long as you can see the signature and this hash, and it all matches, it means that you can trust that code. You see?
Got it. And Dom, I know you had a question.
Yeah. On the terms of clientele, can you talk a little bit about who you're talking to, the conversations you're having, how many clients you have, all of that good stuff?
Well, we raised like 2 weeks ago. Rodin, when was it?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. So right now,
if you let me.
Yeah, go for it.
So as Chris mentioned, we really love how squads scaled and what they did. So basically, they develop their infrastructure and Flagman, well, not Flagman, but their own apps at the same time. So for example, MetaDAO uses Squad's things in the backend. Multisig, for example, and at the same time, Squads is like a real business. It has its own apps. It has its own like end clients. So we're taking the same approach here. As soon as we finish our open test and go to the mainnet, we plan to not delay it for too long and to go until the end of this year.
Go mainnet.
Come again?
You mean to go to mainnet until the end of this year?
Yeah. So and we'll work on the end user adoption. And at the same time, we are looking and already actually negotiating with 2 potential customers who are just interested in fast private inference with on-chain payments. So they have their own apps, but they work with their users' sensitive data, and they need like a hard proof that nothing is being extracted, nothing is being saved, and they only do that one thing they need to do, and that's it.
Are these like finance companies that need this? Or like what's the client profile here?
So for the client that Rodin described is ad tech, and we also have finance companies. So like the example of email sending is literally from my conversation with Stepan. The title of his presentation for Breakpoint is literally Autopilot for Finance, and there is big role that Loyal can play within all of that, because we're deeply deep AI nerds who really know what they're doing. So we see building the idea of like autopilot. I don't really like the word autopilot because it means that it's worse than the actual pilot, but like this command center for all stuff on chain. Yes, that's something that we aspire to do, because for some reason no one has been able to crack AI for finance, and we want to change that. We want to give all the crypto nerds AI tools as well, because because we really know how to do it, how to make it happen.
Well, you called yourself at the start of the show the AI boys, and then now you're saying you're AI nerds. We haven't really talked about the team yet. I have this pulled up in your docs here. Maybe like just walk us through everyone's position. Obviously, we can start with you, Chris, and then we can just move through.
Well, I'm the person who codes it up, builds it up. I'm like deeply technical guy. I talk a lot, so I'm the face of this project a lot. So we have Rodion. Yes, that's
enjoying a nice beer there.
Yes, in San Diego, actually. Yes. And this guy looks like a Greek statue, I've been told. Right? Rodion, speak for yourself. No, actually, when we were rating, like people were making like images of him as a Greek statue.
Very stoic.
No, I was very jealous of that. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Hey, just so you know, Rodion, people that like to talk a lot, like myself, I put myself in that camp. We get anxiety when no one else is talking.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of always anxious to interrupt people. So I always give the chance like to finish the thoughts, and it never finishes. So I kind of
it's never done. But yeah, like so Rodin and I were best friends since like 2020. I want to say like before, like when COVID happened, like I met Rodin and we hit it off. And then 2 other guys, they've been best friends since they were 9. They've known each other since like primary school. They've been friends through school, through college, and now they're still best friends, which is kind of wild.
I love that picture. It feels like you just asked him to take a picture. He's like,
yeah. Is he a developer?
He's PhD
in
computational neuroscience. Yes. He's deeply tapped in.
Not to call out dev brain, but sometimes like as a marketing person, you'll be like, oh, I need a headshot, and it's just like, dev brain is just like, yep.
Yeah, because I look at all your photos. This is like, I mean, we got like a model, a stoic shot here. We got, a personality shot. this one's artsy, and then then we got Basil over
brain.
here.
Well,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna. It's like this is the only normal photo we have of him. Like all the rest is like some like in the mountains with like deer or something. I don't know.
Hey, it's good. It's a straight up
vibey.
shot. Yeah.
No, it's like you can tell who has autism in the team. It's like, oh, this one will get us
Yeah,
to unicorn.
He's a
status.
real AI researcher. We know. We got it. If
We
he's
love
good
it.
looking, then like he's pulling way too much. But if he's
Yes.
he's AI researcher, we got it.
Yeah.
Love it. Dude. That's hilarious.
Let's talk about the token and the launch with MetaDAO.
Oh, dude, MetaDAO was like, if anyone's, what do you mean, if you guys are planning to do MetaDAO launch, like anyone who's listening, you should, because the amount of support and experience that the ecosystem accumulated is kind of insane. Because I met, okay, so my team is like AI skeptics. They don't like trust easily. Okay, I am ready to jump into anything, but they're very slow. And I started talking about MetaDAO, launching with MetaDAO all the way in May. And like, I was grinding down. The team was like, no, we need to launch. And it was like, only after all of my team members, like Matt Collin, Matt Profit, they're like, yo, these guys, they like, I remember like the quote that one of my co-founders said about Collin, like one of the founders of MetaDAO. It went something like, he's either very, very convincing scammer, or they actually believe in what they're doing and we need to like go with it. And it was honestly amazing. It was honestly amazing because the amount of advice and support and wisdom that they were able to share with us is insane. Because we did the race for 4 days straight, and we streamed for 48 hours of it. So like I streamed the first 25 hours nonstop, like developing, and the last 23 hours basically. So it was very intense, and obviously we got a lot of attention. And it's very like, you're dealing with like people, and it's like it's very hard to deal with large volume of attention and like at once. So MetaDAO was like there to help us out to figure that out. And also we wanted to, like, we believe in public being able to access AI, and that was like part of our mission to let supporters who really believe in our mission to support us directly. And if we win, when we win together. That was like big effort for us. And I know that crypto was focused on trading and very bad user experience for a very long time. And we are coming in with trading, but very different type of like trading and very different type of user experience. And we wanted to show that we actually believe in this, and we're not going to scam our users. And if they don't believe in us, they can always like liquidate the treasury or do anything. We wanted to bring that in to kind of transform the trust between community and the founders. So
sorry, you just sugarcoating MetaDAO like for
no.
5 minutes straight.
They're great. I love them.
Blaze them up.
No, but they are. They are awesome.
How much did you guys raise?
We had 76 million committed.
Yeah, we raised 2.5 from 75 million committed. But I just wanted to like take 1 minute to speak about the community itself, like not MetaDAO, but the community of people who like invest there. Like obviously there are a lot of tourists who just went to like a new hyping launchpad, but like the OG futars who are there, they're really helpful. I mean, I did not expect that much help from the like holder community, because these are really smart people who just not only invest in you, but they like genuinely give you great feedback and just help basically every time you ask.
I will make me feel very old, but the community of computers reminds me of the early Bitcoin forums, when like OG cypherpunks were like cypherpunk mailing lists. It's like, because they are very nerdy, but they're like deeply tapped in, and like they are incredibly helpful, incredible resource.
I would say the MetaDAO squad and the futars, as you put it, is probably one of the smarter cohorts in crypto right now. You got the pump fund crew, which is just like, left curve everything, low IQ. I think MetaDAO's on the opposite side of that spectrum.
Well, I will say this, like something that Charlie actually said about Pump Fund and everything else kind of stuck with me. It's like he said that we need guys like Pump Fund because those fees, that revenue is how we fund DPN projects, is how we fund the infrastructure projects. So it's like I would argue that MetaDAO would not be able to exist without the liquidity and the attention that Pump Fund or like this fast promise of cash is bringing to Solana. It's like it's kind of balancing out. So we need people like guys like Alan behind Pump Fund. We need those ventures to also have the resources and the attention to be able to run like our venture, like what MetaDAO is doing.
Yeah. Well, we got roughly 5 minutes here before we have to wrap. So I think we want to start closing this off. But maybe just give like some forward-looking vision, some high-level thoughts to kind of close off here and let people get excited about what you're building.
Dude, we are going to ship the sending money over Telegram literally this week. It will go in testing. We'll have public access to it. Next week, we'll start promoting it heavily because we don't want to promote as heavy right now because we want to show the killer features because no one has done this deep Telegram integration the way we did. It's really cool. I'm very excited about that. So we'll have a lot of growth there. And I think I'm very bullish about that. Rodin, what do you think?
Yeah, sorry, I'm being distracted because I gotta prepare for the next call.
Oh yes, and then we also go to Magic Block Hacker House in like 2 weeks. When does it start?
Yeah, it'll start on 27.
Yeah, so two of my co-founders will go to Dubai for Magic Block Hacker House. It's like offline event before Solana Breakpoint. So there will be a lot of great networking opportunities and great opportunities to onboard businesses on crypto. Because like as you mentioned, like you are literally like once you ship the good Telegram signers and good Telegram or like loyal workflows, you are actually literally one of the clients that we can onboard and help you deal with the volume of information, with automations, with paying the salaries, paying the invoices, and so on, and just make your life easier.
I not remember he mentioned it, but now he can't refute.
No, he did. They literally said that they're paying with USDC, with stablecoins, the stuff, and so on. So yes, we can help them. You see, they are actually one of the target audiences that they're targeting.
On the note of raising $2.5 million, what does your burn rate look like? What are you guys expanding to? You got some of this money. How does acceleration look?
So we have a spending limit of 60K. We'll have to raise a proposal to get higher than that. Right now, our spending burn rate is around 40, Rodion?
No, right now it's 30, but we are expanding the team because we need to hire devs. And now we don't spend much on the GPUs yet. Because at the early stages of growth, we will have to subsidize the inference.
Yeah.
And that would
while we're not in mainnet, because there's no way for us like to pay for the infra to make users pay for the request. So it's like we are subsidizing for now. So we like everything you see right now.
Let me just one for that. After we go for the mainnets, because we managed to raise more than our initial goal. It's great, and now we will be able to incentivize builders that will use our infrastructure. So with hackathons, with just contributor programs. So that's where the larger part of our burn will go after we'll be on the mainnet.
Yeah, but it's like I'm so excited for the. I will finish with the massive shout out to MetaDAO, massive shout out to Colin Profit, because it's like loyal is such an obvious play to me. It will be like like everything we do would be so obvious in the hindsight. It's like you'll look down, like you'll come back to this podcast, you're like, yeah, those statistic guys who are barely putting two sentences together, they were right. And they actually had the vision and they made it true. And I did not believe in them, but now I do. So yeah.
Why is it so huge? Why is it so huge? Because every project needs, because AI needs security. Like, why is it so big? Maybe just closing thought there.
Well, we have tons of like the confirmations on the market already, because if you take, for example, like VVV coin, which is like Venice, they're valued, I believe, at 50 million even right now, and all they do is just offer basic private AI, not even on-chain, just private AI models that you can call with like regular HTTP requests. And
but at the same time, I'm going to wrap up with this. So if you believe, here's the logic of the government. AI can increase your productivity. If we increase global productivity by 10% around the world, it means a lot of GDP for everyone. Everyone is getting way more rich. So they would want to put AI everywhere. It means that the industries that need privacy, education, law, healthcare, finance, they would need an agentic computer, in a way, protected computer, encrypted intelligence to ensure the privacy and security of the data, to ensure that they're compliant with regulations. And it means that we're kind of the only one who can offer that, because like no one brings those type of guarantees.
Yep.
And
well, AI is certainly here to stay. So we're excited to watch you guys, discover the power of private AI. And we appreciate you coming on today.
No, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
I love you guys. Love the show.
Yeah, dude. So maybe after you guys get this Telegram bot pushed out, a few
We'll
more
try
things,
it.
we'll try it, and we'll
Yes.
get you guys back on for a little update call.
Oh, that would be kind of sick. That would be kind of sick. Yes.
There we
Thank you
go.
so much. Right.
Awesome.
Well, have a good show. Bye.
Peace.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
Bye.
Gigabrained privacy AI. Love it.
I like this. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, it hit home when he said, like, when you talk to your lawyer, that's a protected conversation versus like if you throw that in an LLM, it's cooked.
That's a great line.
Yeah. I like the fact that when he wrapped up, he mentioned healthcare. I have a healthcare background. We discovered that on the Smart Stream, but they like you need to be HIPAA compliant, but AI actually has a lot of practical use cases in healthcare, especially when it comes to like helping to treat patients and things. So, but you can't just put that into a like ChatGPT, like they said. That's that data goes everywhere. So you have to be HIPAA compliant and protect patient data. So yeah, I mean, the use case for private AI is absolutely there, and I definitely want to see if they can crack it here with what they got coming out.
Yeah, like I said at the end, AI's going nowhere. I think this is something that's just like a natural evolution. It's going to have to happen. So their positioning is going to be good, and we'll see. I'll keep up with the project. I think that was super interesting, and I'm excited. We got Racer coming on next, or at least they're supposed to, but we have a hard stop at 2:30 just because of some calls. So if they don't hop on soon, they might miss
Said they're joining. Do you want to pull up their X? I see they have an F1 car.
Maybe they're going to be at F1 in Abu Dhabi.
No, they had it a Solana F1 car.
That's sick.
Let's see.
Here, I got it pulled up. Boom.
Yeah, that's
looks
what I was
awesome.
looking at. I don't know if this is AI or real, but if that's real, that's not a cheap
It's
thing.
got to be AI, right? It's got to be.
It has to be.
Their branding is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so yeah, basically from what I've gathered from this is they're gamifying liquidity.
Yo, this guy has I gotta add him. I just gotta add him.
Whoa.
Yo,
Whoa, what the heck?
Oh, dude.
Hey guys, just got back from
Jonathan, the
track.
entrance. We loved it.
Got back from the track, Jonathan?
Yeah, testing out the new car.
How was it? Looks good.
Yeah, it's
is
fast.
it real or is it AI?
Oh, dude, you don't use AI here.
It's a real, dude. It's John's personal daily driver F1 car.
It's his daily driver.
Yeah. John, you guys have been on like a media blitz here recently in preparation for this TGE you got coming up. So we're excited to chat.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, I mean, it's been a real. I just started helping our pit crew chief Taylor. I started helping him a few weeks ago with the marketing for Racer, and it's just been nonstop heats and laps and just like everything. I'm on the track 24/7, guys.
So let's help me understand this a little bit. Okay, Jonathan, firstly, your background, what brought you to start building Racer? Who are you? Who is Jonathan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an extremely tall dude who's been in crypto for almost 6 years. Previously worked on Pirate Nation and Proof of Play and NFL Rivals Mythical Games, and other Web3 startups that are no longer around. But I've known Taylor for a couple of years. Taylor is the CEO and co-founder of Dot Fun Labs. It's basically just kind of like a launch pad for ideas and experiments, on-chain experiments. We can all play together. So the first thing he built was Dot on Base. It was kind of like this pixel art based thing, like build like an arcade and mini games. You could create pixel art together and collect it together. Pivoted into a launch pad over the summer on Solana called Cults. If you saw all those crazy PFPs getting remixed with tokens, that was us. And then now here we are at Racer. So I'm a big fan of everything Taylor and his team builds. So here we are with Racer. It's a trading game built on Solana. Basically, think like it's like the liquidity of the launchpad married to like the madcap energy of like Addicted or Crypto Game or even Mario Party.
Okay, let's jump into that more because it's an interesting concept, and we've talked with a few projects that are quote unquote gamifying liquidity, but maybe jump into how you guys gamify liquidity. How there's a game attached to it. Just what does that look like from your standpoint?
Yeah, so basically you can launch games on the platform. The platform is like a launch pad in a sense, but you don't need to go take your tokens to market and try and get everybody to buy your shitcoin. Instead, what's happening is you're launching a team that's backed by a coin, a car, basically. You're building like a racing team. Just like in real life, you need to go like find backers for your racing team. You get the car, you get the driver. Now you need to get the brands on the jacket and on the hood. It's the same concept. So the game works in two phases. You want your car coin, you want your teams, which are car coins, and then you need to recruit bag holders who have Racer to then vote for your team to get on the track. So it's definitely like an exercise in whale diplomacy. You need to get on the track. Top 4 teams. We have 2 races a day for 1 hour each. We realize that like you can't stretch the attention span of crypto Twitter over 24 hours. You can't stretch it over like 2 hours. So 1 hour races twice a day. Right now we're targeting 12 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern. But then if your car gets on the track, your team, your racing team wins the vote, you're in the top 4. Now it's an hour-long heat, and we're measuring market cap, we're measuring volume, we're measuring price movement. We're going to have like little mini games that kind of like time rich people who want to support and buy in a little bit. Mini games that can come on and get boosts. You could spend the game currency, off-chain game currency at fuel points for boosts. You can get those by bringing your friends or answering our secret hints that we're dropping multiple times a day. So that's the way it works. And so, as the market moves, the market is picking the winner, right? So it's your ability to convince people to buy into your team during that hour-long window. And then top 3 out of 4 teams get prize pools, and then you split the prize pool between the members of each of those teams. And if you're the team owner, you get 10% of that pool.
So there are 4 teams total.
4 teams in each race, but any infinite number of teams are competing for those 4 spots.
And then what happened? And so if I'm understanding this correctly, each team represents a token, right? So each team has their own token. Over the hour, whichever token can get the highest or maybe hold the highest when the hour closes is the winner, or there are the top 3s. One will be eliminated. What happens to the tokens after? Am I understanding that correctly?
No. So it's a vote. It's a vote to get on the track. Okay. And that vote is determined by people who hold the Racer token, which we will launch tomorrow, Thursday, November 13th at 12 p.m. Eastern, just for anyone watching at home. But yeah, so the Racer token, basically people who have the bags on Racer are the ones that will determine which 4 teams will make it on the track.
Okay.
And so from there, then, the 4 teams that make it on the track, market momentum dictates who's going to move up and move down. Now, after the race, those tokens still live. You can still swap them. They can still, whatever. But it's important is that if your team wins, or even if your team gets on the track, that's still really impressive. Don't abandon your team because you have a high chance of getting back on the track, especially if you won. You've shown that you can win. You can keep stacking that prize pool. So these tokens don't just get insta-burned after the end of the race. They still live. They can live race to race.
Okay. And so let's say months down the road, we have thousands of teams. You've already gotten voted on once. You can come back, and all these teams will ultimately end up racing against different teams as over time.
Yeah, exactly. So you could theoretically end up on the track for every single race. It's all about your sway with the community. So we want to bring that socialify element. Like we see this already in like alpha chats. Like I'm sure there've been people out there who secretly launched meme coins and said, guys, I just found this one. It's going to be a runner, I swear. At least this way, it's a more transparent process. Hey, I launched this car. I launched this team. Join my racing team. We can
just
literally
rugging your friends.
But there's no rug here because it's a game. We can literally win together. Even you know, chart goes up, even if it just no matter which way the chart goes after the race, you're still getting some value back in terms of the racer token price pools, which is informed by the trading fees, the swapping fees that we're collecting.
Got it. So you have 4 cars. They're all these communities within these cars are trying to push their token to the highest price with the other metrics that you mentioned here. And the winner gets what? Does the winner get like a the fees from all the other cars that go into their chart, or like what happens?
Yeah. So the way Racer works, the Racer token. So Racer is obviously built on Solana, and all the team coins are built on Racer. And so then when you win a race, you're getting the parent token of the game, which is Racer, which you then use to vote. You can then, obviously you can sell it if you want, but you can also use it to vote your team back on the track. So it's like winning begets more winning if you play it right. And that prize pool is based on trading and swap fees. And 50% of the fees that we collect as a company on swap fees, they'll get used for buy and burn and Racer to keep squeezing supply as we emit more with each race.
Got you. And there was obviously you mentioned Addicted.fun. Did you play Addicted, and what were your key takeaways from that game?
I did miss the mark on getting in on time. I was literally like, "Oh shoot, I overslept," and it's like it's close. Like shoot, okay. I was kind of hoping for price to dip a little bit, but I did see. I have a friend in a chat who's literally every single day like, "What do I do? What do I do?" So I basically played, like coaching him. What was it, day 2 of like which position would you rather be in? I a lot of respect. Tuna's shown that he can really master attention and really knows how to play cater to degens. I think Jailed is the new game, so I'm excited to see how that works out, and hopefully have just stronger tokenomics. Just keep learning, keep spiraling upwards as you go. But definitely cater to my taste, my humor. It's very funny.
Nice. Can you walk us through this website a little bit? Obviously, you have different missions you guys can do for this one. What secret phrase did Taylor say in 11 a.m. show today? How did AudioFi adhere? Really keeps the community engaged. How have you seen this? Number one, build a fantastic community. Number two, just what am I looking at?
Yeah, so the pit crew missions are the ways to get fuel points. Fuel points are how you can buy boosts, and boosts are really useful during races. Basically, increases your score multiplier. And there are levels to it. I think it's like nitro, super nitro, nuclear nitro, some crazy. I forget what the storefront looks like. But you can buy those boosts with fuel points, and that increases your score and your contribution to your team when you're on the track. So that's what the missions are primarily for. We've been building this like a daily check-in. We have obviously some social activations, but we also we're friends with a lot of people in the ecosystem. So whether that's Solana or not, but so you'll see we have a lot of hold X amount of tokens, like $10 to $20 worth of this token quests. So we've partnered with some great friends like Meteora, Jupiter, MetaDAO, a whole bunch of others. And so we've had periodic quests come and go, like, hey, check in if you hold 3 Jupe or anything else, for different tokens, and then you can score some free fuel points. And then the hints are also, if we weren't able to, if for our friends who don't have tokens yet, or we weren't able to get mints out to them, I can talk about that in a second. We're doing these passcodes for a lot of free fuel points. So Lurky, they're building AudioFi, 11 a.m. So Taylor was on 11 a.m. this morning. We're good friends with them. And yeah.
Can you maybe get in a little more detail on what these points do? Obviously, you said there are levels to it. They greatly help boost the racers, the pit crew, whatever. Maybe explain the levels to that or how that works specifically.
Yeah. So once the racer game launches, there will basically be like a storefront where you can buy boosts. Basically, as you play each race, you're accumulating a score, which is your contribution to your team, and that all adds up to your team score, and then that makes your team, go relatively faster or slower based on the other team scores. So ways you can earn score in the race: buy the token, buy more of the token, when you join, you buy the token earlier in that hour. Like we don't really want people like switching into the winning team at the end. So like the earlier in the hour you buy, you get a multiplier on the points that you're accumulating. You get points from the mini games. We'll have other opportunities to get like score inside each race. Fuel points let you buy boosts that you can activate with a race so that you get more score. And that means your team scores more, but also your relative score within your team is that much higher because you're contributing value to Racer by participating, or you're coming from a partner community. So there's an opportunity for you to become a more valuable member of your team. And the higher up your team goes, the bigger your prize pool in the rankings of 4. But the higher up you are inside your team rankings, the more of the prize pool you get because you contributed more to your team.
So that makes sense.
I want to ask, like, how do you win the game? I mean, we asked Tuna this. He gave us a little bit of insight in how do you win Addicted before Addicted went live. But in this, are you saying like trading is the ultimate key, or holding the car token, or is it getting boosts to help your team? Like, try and give me some little, what you would recommend for players to really pay attention to.
I mean, it all boils down to what we realize is that, especially over like Launchpad Summer, everyone just wants to trade. They don't they just want to they want to pump and dump. They'll buy shitters that run, hopefully, and then they'll mourn their losses. So we built what we call a liquid game. So we're trying to provide a game built on all the liquidity of a Launchpad. So the game is trading. It is swapping. It is trying to call a winner and out of the 4 and then buy in. And then you want to get everybody else to buy in too. So it's really just like a bring your friends, bring the whole family, bring the whole village to the track and pick a team and support them by buying into the token. And that's really the secret sauce to how you win, is just getting that market momentum. And so we've seen that people want this liquidity in their products. Obviously NFTs are dead because they're so illiquid, but this is like the current pinnacle of liquidity in a consumer facing app.
And what makes you think people would rather do this over just trading in general? Obviously there's a gamify aspect, but the crux of your product is going to be getting the users to use this rather than just trading other coins and whatnot. So what is the draw here for you?
I mean, who likes staring at charts and candles, honestly? When you could look at race cars, sexy race cars with 80s themed Miami vibes music, like, come on. Where would you rather spend your time? And trading isn't all, it's funny. I've used trading terminals in the past, and I'm not like the biggest, biggest day trader, but every time I use a terminal, I just feel sad. And every time they try to bolt on social into it, it always looks wonky. We built something from the ground up that's inherently social. It takes all the dynamics that you look for from trading in the market. You want a runner, you want your bag to go up, but here's the extra kicker on top. If you win, you get rewards beyond just your token going up. You get more tokens too that you can use to keep winning. So what's really secret is, at the end of it all, the person that has won the most Racer over the course of the 7, we're running that over 7 weekdays. So we're launching tomorrow, running it Thursday, Friday, and then Monday through Friday next week. We're taking the weekend off to revamp, retool, and crypto's dead on the weekends anyways. But the ultimate winner at the end of it, we're going to give like the ultimate Solana package. We're sending you to Abu Dhabi for Breakpoint and was it Meteors conference, Met Dhabi? And I think we're also going to get you tickets to the F1 race. It's happening at the same time. So
wow.
And hotel. So yeah, you really do want to participate because that's the real exit, right?
That's massive.
And it's the +1, so you don't have to fly solo and be a lonely bro. You can bring whatever arm candy you want.
That is that sounds awesome. Maybe I have to go compete and get that taken care of for myself. But no, dude, the thing is, people are always looking for new ways to trade and different primitives and different things to do and ways to they always want to see something new. So it's nice to see a different angle to just your day-to-day traders and trading.
Yeah, I mean, you can still day trade, and that's why we're only doing 2-hour-long races. Is we don't, obviously, we're on Solana. There are runners everywhere, and we don't want to. We recognize that. So, we just want to condense that attention, wrap it in 2 events per day, and then once it's done, you cool off and get back to your charts.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. Josh, Chill, what are you thinking?
Honestly, there was you guys went through quite a bit already.
I want to see one of these be successful. Like Addicted.fun, I think was quite successful, but it was so short lived that like I don't know what's next. And the jailbreak thing, like we'll see. And obviously love what Tuna's doing, but this is like these kind of games are fresh. They're definitely fresh. This doesn't feel like Web3 gaming of the past where it's like you're playing a video game. This is like a trading game. I don't know. I wish you guys really truly a lot of luck and hope this goes really well because yeah, I liked seeing Meteor's tech used in this way, and I loved seeing what Virus did or Pandemic Labs did. So
I guess the question that I had was what part of this do you feel like is the most stickiest part for players? Right? Like what keeps people coming back? I mean, the reward, sure. But is it the game mechanics? Like what's the stickiness for players?
I mean, it's the thrill of the race, right? Like why people keep going to NASCAR races or stock car races or F1. They love cheering for something and being a part of winning. So that's what we're doing. And we're just, we're financializing it in a way that makes sense. So, I mean, winning with your pals on the internet, getting rich with your friends on the internet, like that is the stickiest part.
Yeah, today, even with sports betting being so popular, I feel like, I know for myself and a lot of my friends, we don't watch games anymore without putting a little bit of, $10-15 running a parlay, something. I just, you want that,
that rush.
You want that rush, right?
Yeah. And you want to be with your friends.
Maybe to follow on from that, like Addicted, one of the things I think people didn't expect was that they thought it'd be like some sort of first person shooter or something like that with like a really 3D experience. Is there some, and I know Zed Run was kind of the first to like, all right, we'll do the math in the background, but then there's like a little animation that plays out. Do you have something like that where it's kind of visual, or is it more kind of focused on the leaderboard? Like how do you think of visualizing the game itself?
I think Zedrun will be a pretty fair comparison in terms of what we present visually. Like there will be a track and there'll be 4 cars that are kind of like all jockeying to get into first. And again, it's based on market momentum. So that will be the base experience. But what we'll do that others didn't do is during the hour we'll have pop up mini games that like throw people off. Like, oh shoot, you have 30 seconds. This game is starting. Here's an opportunity to like get more points for your team. And so you play these like super like chaotic mini games, like very Mario Party style. Like you don't know what you're gonna get. That's the play. Yeah.
So it's not just a passive watch, obviously outside of the trading.
No, like I said, we want to make sure that people that are time poor can they can buy it and come back at the end of the hour. People that are time rich, they can chip in a little bit. You do have to buy in at least a little bit to join the team. You can't just like play the mini games and pick a team. But yeah, and so then people are time rich. They actually want to like watch and see the race. They can join the mini games, have some fun, and contribute.
We probably should have started with this, but what does the team look like? Your team, your
my
crew.
team?
Yeah.
Oh, the Racer team.
Who's working on this? Yeah, who's working on Racer?
So we got Taylor at Tay.fun on Twitter. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's founded multiple startups, successful in like B2B SaaS. He's been in Web3 crypto for so long. But yeah, as I mentioned before, 3 other projects, different moments, had success, and now we pivot. So there's Taylor. I'm one of our marketing guys. Bunny Conejo Capital at Conejo Capital on Twitter. He's helping us out with the marketing as well. And there's some other folks than some of the devs in the background that prefer to stay that way.
Nice. So what does that take you to a total of team members?
Probably like 4 or 5, 4.5.
Nice.
4.5. I love that.
And to confirm, this launches tomorrow, right? We got to get clips out. Okay.
Right. Yeah, token. So the race token goes live tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. The first race, the game goes live at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. And any connection with Meteorite Collective by chance?
Yeah. So big fan of Vesper, and we'll be doing a giveaway with Meteorite Collective over the next 24 hours.
Let's go. We're ready.
And
maybe
I forgot to mention the thing that we're giving away. We're giving away our Racer PFPs. We were giving out Solana Grand Prix tickets over the last 7 days. You need a PFP if you want to launch a team. And that way you get 10% of the prize pool if your team wins a race. And you also get bonus points based on the rarity of your PFP towards your contribution to your team score. So make sure you scoop those Magic Eden. They're not that expensive right now, but I'm sure they'll go up once the races start and people start.
There you go. That's alpha. I think you kind of just answered some of my next question. I was going to say, what can people do right now to prepare for this launch and the games going live?
Scoop a PFP, buy some Soul, and what's really important, people seem to forget, bring your friends. Bring your friends. Bring the whole family tree out. Bring the bloodline.
Yeah, I love it.
Love it.
I think that might take care of questions. I don't know if you guys have anything else.
I think that does it. Maybe just close us off here, Jonathan, with what people should be doing, where they should be following. Obviously, I have your Twitter pulled up here, but what's the best way for people to keep updated and stay on top of this?
Yeah, follow us at racer_._fun. X killed our other account. That was just racer.fun. So racer_DOT_fun, FUN. Make sure you follow us. And yeah, again, swing by Magic Eden, scoop yourself a PFP, see if you find one that you like. And again, stock up on Soul and bring all the friends, because there's nothing better than winning with your friends.
And real quick, what's the name of the PFP collection on Magic Eden?
Should be Solana Grand Prix. That should get you to what you need.
Got it. Money. I might end up scooping me up a PFP here, so appreciate it. But thanks so much for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm gonna get back out there, get some more laps in.
Yeah, as you should. Let's go.
Sounds good, brother. Catch you later.
Need for speed. Cool. I do love when people come with
some props.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I love that.
Ultimately, man,
0.2 Soul right now. 0.2 Soul on these PFPs, by the way.
There we go. And it sounds like that gives you access to create a team, and if you create a team, you get 10% of the winnings. And I think there were some other perks he mentioned. So no, I mean, ultimately we see that the trading's been the same, maybe stale for a little while. So there's a few people coming out and trying new things to get traders interested, engaged, and different ways to do it. So this is one of those, but we'll see how it goes. Excited. Always up for new experiments.
Yeah, the challenge is keeping the attention too, right? Like Addicted, I think they chose a really short format game just to kind of pack all the action in and create speculation. But yeah, it's keeping attention is tough with these. I see we have like 2 minutes, but is there Viva news? And then I saw Ave posted Dupe news.
Yeah, Dupe onboarded a new person. Let's try to speed run this here. We got literally 5 minutes before we have to hard stop, guys. So I'll read through this. And Viva's been putting out more updates recently, so I'd say it's worth keeping an eye on their Twitter. They just put another one out yesterday. So let's see. Viva. All Viva Wallets buys go straight into a 48-hour flexing with a massive 20% APY intro reward, so everyone starts earning from day one. The new referral system is live with tiered commissions for verified users, turning every invite into real income. These features ignite the rollout and will soon be available to all app users as we expand. To fuel this attractive APY and commission structure, we will purchase Viva on the open market with real revenue, further reinforcing our value accrual mechanism for token holders. We're in phase 3, right? We're in that phase 3 we're talking about, guys. Buybacks seem to be coming in, or at least will be starting to come in soon to fuel this 20% APY. Massive 20% APY. So,
and this starts when? Go straight into 48 flex with
I think starting now, right? So, and this is not for holders just right now. This is if you buy on their Viva Wallet app, which they've created. They have 1.3 million users. So all users who buy using their new Viva Wallet will go straight into a 48-hour flexing with a 20% APY. That's pretty good APY. So
we're getting more users, more buy pressure on Viva Exchange from those users, with especially through the liquidity facility that they set up. On top of that, we have buybacks and burns coming from the ad exchange that'll be accelerated by their Meet Kai partnership. And then on top of that, those who buy can actually lock up or kind of take more supply off the market through this kind of flex staking to earn APY. I mean, Viva has a lot going on right now. So much. I'm so bullish on them, and I think for the time being they're going unnoticed. But when these things like really start kicking out in full force, I don't think that stays the same for long.
Yeah, and I'll play through this too. This is the app being used. So again, this is like the steps it would take to start earning this instant flex staking reward of 20% APY. And again, to pay out this 20% APY, they will be going onto the Viva market, purchasing off the open market at Viva, and then distributing with that flex structure. And they also have this referral program that they mentioned as well. I think more info to come on that shortly, but it's not fully there. If you do check out the app, in their last tweet, they linked the wallet. Go check it out. There seems to be some alpha on that. But yeah.
Quick dupe news. 1 minute.
Quick dupe news.
Dupe news.
Yep.
Quick dupe
I got
news.
you.
Quick dupe.
It looks like Dupe onboarded a new team member. Here we go.
Harrison Wang.
Okay, so we're officially welcoming Harrison Wang to the Dupe team, and you can see his Twitter there. Nice little following. Tiger Global, Jay-Z, FRM head of growth at TikTok, 0 to 100 million users, Blockfolio. With a small 10-person crew, Harrison launched dozens of apps in a short time frame before co-inventing what the world knows as TikTok. Oh, wow. With a small crew, Harrison launched dozens of apps in a short time frame before co-inventing what the world would know as TikTok. He personally grew TikTok from 0 to 100 million plus users with a 40% DAU in under 18 months. Let's just say Harrison possesses a rare set of skills and belongs to a very exclusive group growth pantheon. After months of conversations with Dupe's mission, Harrison is joining forces with us as a growth advisor to bring those same viral growth mechanisms to Dupe, helping us build the most viral, fastest growing shopping app in the world. We've been working relentlessly to launch the most powerful shopping app for millions of people with one goal in mind: 1 million installs by the end of the year. To make this happen, we're doubling down on growth. We've just onboarded 100 plus creators across every major platform. We're allocating $300,000 towards scaling installs and creator partnerships by the end of the year. We've already generated 300 million views across social and cracked the formula for taking Dupe mainstream. And today we're taking things up another level. 2025 was ignition for AI commerce. 2026 is liftoff. Boom. There you go, guys. That's our time for the day. We appreciate you coming on, MCG. That's a big for Dupe, and we love you guys.
Hey, appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow and the rest of the week for more alpha, more streams. Deuces, y'all. Stay safe.